All right, and welcome everyone to a playtest of The Burned Future, a tabletop role-playing game still in development that we're going to bash on here. It's a game of post-apocalyptic sword and sorcery. So it's hundreds of years after a great apocalypse, and we're going to travel across the land, helping people and drive off mutants and monsters and sorcerers and all that good stuff. So I'm the designer, and I'll be sort of pushing the game forward. I'll also be playing one of the characters, and we also have a group of great players here, starting on the left with, let's see here, we'll start with Brendan.
Hi, I'm Brendan Conway. I play games. It is a fun thing that I do. And I'm here to play a weird barbarian who stabs people in the face with swords that may or may not be made of energy.
Cool. All right, Aaron?
Yeah, so I'm Aaron Field. I also play games, a lot of games. I run games. I also work with Indie Plus along with Brendan to do events like this. By the way, I should mention that this is an Indie Plus Games in the Bar event, and we'll be adhering to the Indie Plus community standards, and you can Google that up to learn more. But we don't expect any bad language if we can remember, and the violence will be very Saturday morning cartoons, so kind of off screen or very light, kind of people get knocked out, stuff like that. But if that kind of thing bothers you, there might be a lot of explosions and bad guys getting punched. Well, now you know what you're getting into.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Joe?
Hi, I'm Joe. I also play games. I'm here to play a big old mutant that hits people with stop signs.
Nice. And John?
John Swan, an avid gamer. I've also ran things on Games of Bar as well. As for what I'm thinking about playing, I'm playing as a swift lizard man who shoots things with poison arrows.
Excellent.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
All right, so with that, let's get to it. So we're going to start off by setting up our characters.
Yeah.
Characters made up of a couple different things. I'm going to run through them real quick, then we'll decide. The four main things is the character's role, like the class in D&D, your stunt, some special power, and then a catchphrase, which is something that kind of describes your personality. And then the fourth thing is what's called your refusal. This is something that your character just refuses to ever do, and it's kind of a way of getting a grasp on your character's kind of moral boundaries. So we'll start off by figuring out the role. There are four roles defined in the game, although you are free to come up with one that would make sense in this kind of post-apocalyptic wild future. So the four in the game are hunters, somebody who has been out in the wilds hunting wild beasts and animals. Scavengers, those who live in the ruins of the old world and are looking around for things, sort of scavenging for things, and they usually know at least one or two oddly specific facts about the old world, often untrue. You can have fun with that one. And then there are traders, people who actually go from village to village trading things. And then there are wizards, people with magic powers. And we have that described in a little bit of detail in the rules. So let's just go around real quick and we'll figure out what role each person would like: hunter, scavenger, trader, or wizard. So Brendan, what are you thinking of? You're barbarian.
Yeah, the ability to make up facts sounds kind of fun, but yeah, sure. Let's go scavenger. Let's go scavenger.
Okay, sweet. Aaron, what do you think?
Okay, I gotta go wizard, man.
All
Casting
right,
magical
nice.
spells. Right.
All right, Joe, how about your buff mutant?
Let's see. So we've already got a wizard and a scavenger. What was the?
Hunter and trader, although they're not like balanced, so it doesn't really matter. You have all scavengers.
Let's just go with hunter.
All right, and I guess I'll go trader then.
All right, fair enough. So I'm gonna.
Andrea just came in, so
Oh, sweet. Hello, Andrea. Glad to have you
Yeah,
here.
sorry, my internet's being dumb.
No
Right.
worries at all. We just started character creation, so it's a good time. Um, Post-apocalyptic future. Your character's made up of a few pieces. We're starting with your role, and your role can be one of four things, or you can come up with something else if you want. You could be a hunter, someone who is out sort of ranging around hunting wild beasts. You can be a scavenger, someone who lives in the ruins of the old world. Maybe you know some things about the old world. You could be a trader, someone who actually goes from village to village trading stuff. Or you can be a wizard. Do any of those appeal to you, or do you have some other specific idea?
I like the hunter.
All right, sweet. You'll be a hunter. In that case, I'm going to go with a wizard,
nice.
and we'll go from there. All right, so that's
So
that.
you're GM though?
Oh yeah, you bet. Everyone gets to play. And that's part of the fun of this. In fact, you all get the GM.
I thought you
Wizard.
Yeah.
All right, so one of the other cool things about the game actually is that kind of the GM role will switch around to different players. Other players will get a chance to introduce villains and have stuff happen. So that'll be part of the fun. Okay, so we have our roles. So now we decide on our stunt. The stunt is some special thing about us. It can be a mutant power. It can be some special skill that you have consciously trained yourself up in. It can be an item like a fabulous sun's sword. Whatever you want. So it can be just what makes you maybe not unique in the entire world, but definitely distinctive. Most people just do not see this day to day. So we'll go back to Brendan. What do you think? Any ideas?
So I've been listening to a podcast, Rachel and Miles Explain the X-Men, and one of the things they talk about is how Magneto, when he first showed up, magnetism was just magic and it did anything. So I want that. I want a sword that is like the blade is made out of magnetism, but it's basically like magic and it cuts things somehow. I don't know.
Okay. Nice. Yes. Perfect.
Cool.
Yes,
Right.
you have the sword of strange magnetism. Perfect.
Nice.
All right, Aaron.
Oh man, as a wizard, I'm gonna go with Oh, telepathy. Nice.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
So I can read your mind.
Okay. Cool. Joe, what do you think?
I don't know. Thinking. What?
Now, like in a lot of these things, it's stuff. So in Thundar, for example, Ukla doesn't have anything particularly special about him, except for the fact that he is like friends with everyone. But like for him, it could just be some physical trait.
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah. Since I want to go with a wild mutant. Let's go with a third arm.
Ooh, excellent. Very, very good. All right. John.
Multiple stuff.
Yeah. Oh, good point. Yeah.
Okay, I'm taking a lizard man, and I'm a trader, so I'm gonna go with wicked tongued.
Oh,
Yeah.
excellent. Very good. So you have that. Excellent. Yeah, makes sense. Andrea, any thoughts?
Since she is a hunter, I'm trying to figure out how to kind of succinctly put this, but basically she is able to. It's more of almost an empathic relationship, or maybe it's with kind of the environment. Like she can put her hand on the ground and know what's been through there.
Okay. So she is kind of the
Nice.
the stereotypical racist Native American character in 80s cartoons, where like they know.
Maybe we won't give her a feather though.
Okay, good. Yeah.
We'll just leave that part out.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. You have that idea. Gotcha.
Yes.
Cool. Excellent. So that's your stunt. So now we move on to catchphrase. This is and the easiest way to think of it is it's sort of a short phrase that sums up your character's personality. In the playtest document, I have just for fun a bunch of corporate slogans. So I'm loving it. But you can come up with anything you want, and whatever makes sense. So in genre, a perfect example of a catchphrase would be "Never tell me the odds." So that kind of stuff, whatever kind of sums up your character nice and succinctly. So any idea there, Brendan?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. How would you describe your character's personality?
Well, okay, so I'm a scavenger with my sword. I'm really eager and greedy. I really love just getting new stuff, and I'm like, this thing is gonna go for 8 million nuts when I sell it at the next outpost, and then I find something else, and it's like a toilet seat lid, and oh my god, this is the holy headdress of the priest of the, and so I'm thinking something. I don't know, maybe it
Honestly,
seems supposed to.
Eager and greedy sounds good to me.
Sure. Greed is good, actually. I kind of like
Perfect.
it.
There we go. Nice. All right, Aaron, what do you think?
So I'm playing Steve the Wizard.
No.
Think different.
Nice.
Thing. So,
Nice.
I've at some point I've encountered tales of this prophet, Steve Jobs, and his how he radically overthrew the common ideas of the time, and that's what I'm doing. I know when you're thinking the same, and I can make you think different.
Nice. The rebel leader, Steve Jobs. Great.
Yes.
Leader of the revolution. All right, Joe.
Okay, so I've got a name. It's Courtyard.
Courtyard. Good.
Okay, so we got the third arm, and we're going to stick with the from the previous game we played with the off billboard. So it's you deserve a break today, and break will not be a break. It'll be a break.
Perfect.
Wow. With your third arm holding your stop sign.
No, I got 2 stop signs.
Whack. Excellent. All right, John.
All right, my character is Baskin, the Lizard Man. He's a trader, and he basically travels with the group to trade various goods and get goods he wants. Yes, and his catchphrase is, "Yes, I think we can make a deal."
Very good.
Yes.
Cool. All right, we got that down. All right, Andrea.
I will play Willow, and she is a mutant. She's really more at home in the forest than she is with people. So in addition to her role as a hunter, she can also act as a guide. And so for a catchphrase, I was just thinking something simple like, "Where do you want to go?"
Okay, yeah.
Nice.
That works fine. Cool.
Yes.
All right. Then I will be playing. I'll be playing Hallmark the Wizard. And his stunt is that he has a pendant that senses danger. I happen to be a fan of that. And my catchphrase is, "I sense danger." Just easy enough.
Nice. Nice.
All right. I'm just so you all know, I'm having some trouble accessing the Google Drive document, so I'm going to keep trying to get in there, but for some reason it's blanking out on me. So we'll see what I can do there. Yeah. What can you do?
If you could
Hmm?
link it in the chat or something.
Oh yeah, when we can do that,
access
I'll
it
give it a
outside.
try.
Yeah.
Okay, then one final thing, and this is going to get more of a role-playing thing. If you don't have a great idea, that's fine. We can move on. But the question is, what is one thing your character would never do? It can be something really bad, something whatever you might think. For example, in Thundar, one of Thundar's refusals is he does not give quarter to sorcerers. So if there's some evil sorcerer out there, they have to be stopped, no question. He's gonna do whatever he needs to take care of them. That's the kind of thing you can go for. So Brendan, any thoughts on a refusal for your character?
Never pass up something of value.
Fair enough. All right, Aaron?
I think something like I won't I won't agree. Always disagree with the enemy.
Oh,
So
okay.
never agree. If they say something is true, it's like, no, it can't be.
Mm-hmm. Never trust an enemy. Perfect. Joe, thoughts?
As a hunter, only kill what you eat.
Ooh, good. Very good. John?
My one is I will not accept a trade that does not work in his favor.
Ah, good. All right.
Yes.
That's an interesting complexity there.
Yes.
Andrea?
Never turn up an opportunity to explore.
Okay, cool.
So
All
basically,
right.
he wants to either even trade or get on top of the trade. He doesn't want the person he's trading with to get the most out of the deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
And mine will be, actually, I much prefer that catchphrase, Danger Will Robinson. And my refusal is never walk away from knowledge. If there's information to be had, I will always find it. All right. So those are the characters. And now we can figure out our overall story structure. The game comes with 4 ideas for stories. You don't have to follow them exactly, but they give you kind of something to grasp onto. And the 4 story ideas are a sorcerer attacks a community and is after something in the community. The second is that a warlord, i.e. somebody non-magical, attacks a community looking for forced conscripts, and the warlord's trying to do something sort of outside of that. You can have a sorcerer attacking the heroes directly to steal something from them. That's the third one. And the fourth one is somebody kidnapping a member of a community because that person is special. They need that person for something. So any of that appeal to anyone?
I like the warlord attacking.
I'm good with the warlord.
Yeah, definitely.
Sweet. Okay. So we'll go with the warlord storyline. All right. Then I will start out as what's called the narrator. This is the person who is basically deciding what villains we face. And so I get to decide to begin with where we start, and this is just more of a flavor thing. So I'm going to say we're riding through a jungle. It's during the day, and we are nearing a struggling town of about 50 buildings. So it's a good-sized town. It's also, I should point out, in this future, nobody's had really time to build a lot of stuff. So almost every village or town is set in some town or village from the real world. So we're nearing this town. Again, it's 50 buildings. It's a decent enough size. Okay, so now we can start into the first scene. And so the warlord storyline tells us that at the beginning of the story. Oh, I should explain how this sort of runs around. So the game is divided into 3 acts, classic 3-act structure, and we'll each get to run 1 scene in each act. So there'll be a total of 6 scenes in each act. And at the beginning of the scene, whoever is the narrator, and we will rotate that role around, get to decide, okay, we're facing, a giant crab creature or whatever. And then gets to sort of throw those dice out, and I'll show you how that goes. And then once we reach the end of an act, then we face something having to do with the sort of larger overall story. That's the basic idea of the way that works. So first scene, first act, we know that this act is about the warlord attacking a community, looking for forced conscripts, and we're going to learn more about the warlord's activities in the area, who the warlord is, what he's been doing, or she. So we've been riding through the jungle. We are nearing this struggling town. And I'm going to say that we start out by engaging with a raiding party, or sort of a forward party sent out by the warlord. So he sent some folks forward. Maybe several different groups have gone out from him looking for conscripts. And one of them comes upon us. And boy, are they in trouble. So the way we figure out those threats is through dice. Every specific creature, monster, person, mutant, whatever that we face is a die. So if we're facing 6 people, that's 6 dice. Normal creatures are a d6. More powerful creatures, lieutenants, the Baroness, those are going to be d8s. So I'm going to say we're facing. We'll go straight forward here. We'll say 5 mooks and a lieutenant. So I'm going to roll some dice for that, and so I'm going to say that we have 5d6 and a d8, and I'll show you what those mean here in a minute. I'm going to roll those with Dice Stream and see what we get. All right. So, ooh, nice. We have an 8 on the d8. Anything that rolls 1, 2, or 3, this being a Saturday morning cartoon, we will defeat immediately. Because
Nice.
they just come charging at us and we throw them off a cliff, whatever. Anything higher than that, we now have to figure out how we're going to deal with. And there are 2 main ways we can do that. We all start with 5 hero points. And these are points we can spend on these dice. If you spend 1 hero point, you can lower a rolled die by 1. So we can put that 5 down to a 3 with 2 hero points total. Alternately, you can invoke your roll, your catchphrase, or your stunt. Basically, do something that invokes and uses those. And when you do that, you get to roll a d10. And you can knock out whatever rolled under that. There is one tweak to that, though. If you're going after the lieutenant or the lieutenants in the scene, the d8s, you have to say you're going after them or whether you're going after the mooks. So if you roll high but you're going after the mooks, you have to go after the mooks. You can't suddenly switch over there. So that's the one change there. So and I should also point out you can do a roll and then decide to spend hero points. So you can kind of go back and forth if you want to. So does anyone have any thoughts on what they want to do to deal with these creatures? We have a 5, a 6, and an 8.
Yeah, absolutely. As we're are we riding? I guess riding through this jungle.
Sure.
I pause and I say, wait. I sense several people all thinking the same. They're here, and they jump out of the jungle, and I just immediately.
I'm thinking that Baskeen rides on a giant lizard with the front lots of packs of trade goods in it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So they all these guys leap out of the jungle at once at us, and I just immediately catch the eye of one of them, and
Okay.
whoa, and he just falls asleep immediately.
Nice. So is that spending hero points?
So sorry. So the 1, 2s, and 3s, do we have to spend hero points for them, or
We do not. No, they're
they're already out. They're all right. So
Yeah,
several of them fall asleep, and I'll go ahead and spend a hero point. I'll spend a couple more to knock out that 5, bring it down
Okay.
to 3.
Sweet.
Cool.
Sweet. Anyone else?
So
Okay. So Baskeen decides to kind of frighten them by kind of using his wicked tongue, and he's gonna say, "You are fools to attack us. We are great warriors and wizards all. You will only face your death by attacking, by continuing your attack."
Perfect.
So can I roll that or something?
Yes. So roll a d10.
Okay. What do you use your die roller?
I'm using Dice Stream. You can use a die on your table if you want, or whatever you like.
Okay, so when I use that, it's a D10, is it?
Yes.
7.
Nice.
Yes.
All right. Cool. Yeah, that'll think. So what happens to him? Do you scare him off, or do you?
Oh yes, yes. After a few of them see the guys drop, and also see probably the strong, this big strong warrior Joe on the thing. Yes, another of them totally just drop their weapons and run away, like screaming into the woods.
Nice.
Yes.
All right. So the mooks are taken care of, but the lieutenant is still undefeated. Anyone want to take on the lieutenant?
man,
He's a tough one.
So what does the lieutenant look like again?
Did I have to spend a hero point to use
Good
my
question.
stunt, or just use it?
Yeah, no, that's free. Don't need to spend a hero point.
Yes.
So that's a good question. So we'll say that the mooks were all rat people,
Yeah.
and the lieutenant was like the creature from the Black Lagoon.
Hmm.
Whoa.
Yeah. Okay. So while my comrades are engaged in combat, I'm looking the creature from the Black Lagoon up and down, and I fixate on his claws, and he's got these iridescent claws on the ends of his
Ooh.
hands, and I'm like, those go for 300 kinettes. So I'm gonna leap at him and cut off his hands with my sword of strange magnetism.
Okay, sweet.
So I roll 1d10, right?
1d10.
This is gonna go terribly.
Yeah. Not enough. So what happens?
So I want to just know, for rule's sake, I don't think I'm going to do this because it's probably not worth it. But I could spend the hero points to lower him down so that then I could theoretically beat him.
Yes, you could.
And does he have to be lower than me or equal to me?
He has to be equal to you.
Okay, so I would spend 3, but it's probably not worth it. Yeah. So I mean, I'm a rat person leaping at a creature from the Black Lagoon's hands and trying to cut them off. Like I'm like coming down in the air, like with this look of avarice in my eyes and my teeth gnashing, and I'm like, this is gonna be the best. And he just like grabs my wrists as I'm falling out of the air, and he just like holds me in front of him. He's like, really? And he just starts banging me on the ground. Help! Help! Help!
Yep. All right, at that point, I think I'll jump in. I'm going to spend 2 hero points and just heroically, leap at him to try to knock him over. Nothing particularly subtle about it, but just I see you need help, so I'm going to leap at him. So I'll knock him down to a 6. Anyone else want to help?
I totally want to help.
What do you do?
So Willow has some arrows that she's definitely not like a close quarters combat-y character. So I think she's going to use the arrows more as a distraction to try to kind of try to distract him so he takes his concentration off of beating the heck out of my friend.
Nice. Cool. So like you're firing the arrows at him just to sort of distract him and just so
right. More like I'm picturing like more like so he's beating him on the ground and like 3 arrows come shooting out of nowhere and like land like inches from his feet.
Gotcha. Nice. So that's a hero point?
Okay.
Or are you rolling a die?
Yeah, are you spending hero points or rolling a die?
I will spend a hero point.
Okay, sweet. That knocks him down to enough for Brendan's roll to be high enough. At which point, so you can decide. Do you then successfully cut his hands off, or does he simply go scuttering away, or what?
I think I managed to nick his finger, and so I get 1 claw, and then he goes skittering away. And all I can do is weep over the lost opportunity.
Okay. Nice.
Okay.
What?
So to be clear, your dice kind of stay out there, and you can
Right.
Correct.
use that result
Yes.
later. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Right.
for the remainder of the scene. Now, another thing I should point out: hero points do not recover.
Right.
This is all we have for the remainder of the session. Depending on how it goes with this many players, we may get to refresh at some point. I've never played with this large of a group, so we may end up having to add that in. But when I played before, that seemed to work out. So we'll see.
Okay.
Okay, so now I get to nominate the next person to sort of close out this scene and start out the next one. And I'm going to nominate Aaron to do that. So you get to decide what happens as a result of this and sort of how it all wraps up.
Sweet. So, okay. Steve the Wizard dismounts from his lizard and goes over to these sleeping, one of these sleeping rat men, and kind of lifts the rat man's head to his own head, and he says, "Oh, it seems they were headed for that village when we came along. They're trying to recruit somebody there, and
It does
so
not look like they're looking for voluntary help.
yes, yes. Hmm. Well, we can't let a some kind of orthodoxy form in this village. Onward.
Fair enough.
Yes, we should investigate this. We have to make sure that the trade routes are not disrupted by these vagabonds.
Indeed. This could be
All
very
right.
interesting.
Let me see. Okay, so
All
now
right.
I do a new uh,
You set up the next scene.
scene thing. Okay, and I can pick like a different location or whatever.
Absolutely. You can do whatever you like.
Let's just go into the village. So it's
Okay.
this struggling town,
Hmm.
and hmm.
Now, this is
Uh,
not the next act yet, though.
Correct.
right.
The same act.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and as we arrive, the indeed the warlord himself is standing in the middle of the village,
Wow.
and all the villagers have come out to see what's going on, and apparently he's just arrived, and he's got a couple a couple of his lieutenants standing around him, and a few more various mooks standing around, and
Hmm.
he's giving the speech, telling the villagers that they must join or die. And
What does he look like?
so,
Or she? Or it?
question. Let me see. He is. Uh,
Metabolic.
wow. He's actually a metalloid.
Oh boy. Uh-oh, that's
He's some
bad.
kind of he's got this. Uh, at first at first glance you think it's just some he's got some big fancy general's armor or something. Then you realize there's no face, there's no eyes behind the helmet. It's just a solid walking suit of armor basically.
Nice.
And
Is he the only Metalloid?
yeah, all the rest are fleshy,
Interesting.
swamp things or apes or whatever.
Cool.
So yeah, he's standing there, and the villagers are kind of obviously they start refusing,
Mm.
and kind of walking away and like yelling at him and throwing things, and so he simply orders his lieutenants to go ahead and do their thing. They start moving menacingly towards the populace,
Oh
and
boy.
the warlord just turns his back and walks away.
Nice.
So
We can't have
I'll
that.
introduce a threat here of
Yeah.
let's see. So how do I pick these dice?
So
Just
it's D6 for mooks, D8 for lieutenants, and it's however many you want to throw in there.
However many. Okay. So I said, let's see. I said there's several mooks, so we'll do 4 of those guys,
Mhm.
and let's make it tough. Let's show how powerful this guy is. We'll make 3 lieutenants.
Okay,
So
nice.
he's a serious threat.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's going on.
Ooh,
So,
okay,
We
interesting.
got 4316 for the mooks, and then
All right.
716 for the lieutenants.
Alrighty. That's okay. So that's going to be interesting.
So who are these mooks? Are more ratmen?
So there's a variety. There's a couple ratmen. There's some apes as well,
Mm.
and the lieutenants are let's see. Strangely, it looks like they're all more or less human looking,
Hmm.
but
Okay.
they've got just 1 or 2 animal characteristics. So one of them has horns,
Okay.
one of them has like scaly skin,
Mm.
but is otherwise he's definitely not a lizard guy. Just got tough skin. So they're all like true mutant style guys.
Okay. Interesting. All right, I'm going to go ahead and go after one of the lieutenants. I think I'm going to use my yeah. And by the way, my pendant is flashing like crazy.
Nice.
So I'm going to say okay, there we go. I'm going to point to the lieutenants as opposed to the mooks and say, "I sense danger, Will Robinson," and leap towards them as the sort of the larger danger to try to take care of them. So I'm going to roll a d10. I should also point out one other thing. Once you use a particular your roll or your stunt or your catchphrase once, when you use it again, you roll a d8 that time. And you can only use them a total of twice each, right? Now again, we may have to have some kind of refresh rule for those, but that's to kind of help give you an idea of eventually they you do use them up, and according to the rules, you would only use one of those per scene. We could certainly play around with, like, if you really want to use two in a scene, kind of burn two. You can do that, but we'll figure it out. Okay. So let me roll my d10 there. That's going to give me a 7. Okay, so I will use that against the that 1/7 lieutenant there. Those guys are what? I forget now. Lieutenants are all...
they're true mutants.
They're true mutants. Okay, so I'm going to go after the one that looks like a bison, and I'm going to just tackle him to the ground.
Nice.
Anyone else?
Awesome.
Okay, I'm going to have my character next. Vasquine. So yes, Vasquine's seeing that there is other villagers around, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's going to look at the villagers. Yes, and he looks at the villagers and says, "These fools are going to take your livelihood. You should fight and overcome them with your vast numbers. Indeed, yes, I think we can make a deal if you help us defeat these foes. I can open you to many great goods. Yes, yes." So yes, these are my catchphrase.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes, we can make a deal. So yes, I'm offering them some goods if they help us defeat these guys.
All right. Are you
Nice.
going for lieutenants or mooks?
Mooks. I'm going after mooks, basically having the villagers attack the mooks.
Perfect.
So roll
Yes.
it up.
D10.
D10.
Sorry. I rolled the die actually there. So roll 5.
5.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a 4. You can use it on that one.
Okay, sure. So yes, what happens is says, yeah, these guys are trying to force us into slavery. We need to fight back. And so they get their pitchforks and stuff, and they just pile drive a bunch of mooks.
Nice.
Perfect.
So stabbing them with various military implements. More like since it's PG, it's basically they just start. There's just a crowd of people who go around. There's like smoke everywhere. They get
Cloud of dust.
Yep. Yes, a cloud of dust. Yeah.
Nice.
Cool. All right. So we have what? 1/6 remaining.
I'll go after the last 6.
I think there are 2 6s.
Yeah. There's actually there's a lieutenant at 6 and a mook at 6.
So I'll do Lieutenant 6.
Sweet.
So courtyard with his big stop sign with the cement still attached to the bottom of the post, mounted in his third arm, runs up screaming nothing that you can understand until the end. "You deserve a break today," as he smashes it down on the head. Let's see what happens here. And I got a whopping 4.
Ah.
All right.
So what happens?
Well,
I think the stop sign just reverberates off him, and He's more shaken than any damage was done.
Nice. But that
He's
four,
never seen a stop sign fail before.
wow.
He is confused by this. So was the sixth Metalloid, or is the Metalloid already taken out?
No,
I think he just walked away.
He walked away?
Yeah, he's off screen already.
All right.
He left his lieutenants to do the dirty work.
Okay.
Right.
But now that 4, if somebody comes in and spends hero points or whatever, that 4 can still be used, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'll drop a hero point to take it down to a 5.
All right.
Okay.
So I did something to it.
Okay. Let's see. I'll jump in there. Steve the Wizard. We'll go over to one of these 8-men mooks who is like has entered one of the houses and is like tearing stuff up and kind of threatening the a villager in there. But Steve busts open the door. And he's like, 8-man, why are you following this warlord? It makes no sense. And you should think for yourself. Think different. So I'll go ahead and roll with my catchphrase.
Mm-hmm.
And
oh, look at that!
Nice.
cool.
Bam.
And so the 8-man, like, just kind of slows down a little bit and looks at me and is like, oh, and he comes over and like, kind of shakes my hand and walks out and returns to the jungle.
Nice. Very good.
Yes. You'll be much happier out there.
So I'll go ahead and spend a hero point to lower the lieutenant's number, so it should be down to 4.
All right.
So then
What do you do
4
heroically?
will kill it. So I turn to Willow and I'm like, throw me! And I go hurtling through the air.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Come down on top of the lieutenant, who the stop signs just sort of banged off of, because I'm envisioning he's wearing some sort of like armor over him, and so
maybe it's the lizard, scaly skin guy.
Oh sure, yeah. So it banged off of his scaly lizard skin, his like tough, hard, like frills or whatnot, and so I'm just quickly crawling all over him until finally I position myself, because I'm relatively small. I'm a rat person. I just position myself holding the back of his head, and I like peel back 2 of his scales. There's a nice big gap there, and then I'm just like to Courtyard, dragon.
Awesome. So Courtyard, your die takes out the lieutenant finally.
Perfect. All right, so Aaron, who closes out the scene?
Cool. Let's go with. We need some more Willow in there. Go, Andrea.
Oh no. Okay. So, in typical cartoon fashion, they're all the the bodies on the ground that they're just sort of lumps and.
Yeah, no blood.
So, yeah, no blood or anything.
Yeah.
And the mooks weren't riding any animals; they were just ground troops. But the lieutenants did have horses. So Willow goes over to kind of calm the horse, and she's kind of petting its. It's probably not a true horse now that I'm thinking about it. It's mutated and has like 6 legs or something.
Spider horse.
Spider horse. So she's
giant lizard. So yeah.
She's calming the horse down, and she's combing her fingers through its bristly mane, and she turns to the others and says, "There's an army," and she kind of points back to kind of the direction that the Metalloid guy had gone to and said, "Over that rise." and
Ooh.
they're burning the town. They're burning the farms. And
Oh, wow.
looking, you can kind of see the dark smoke rising up into the sky, and it's kind of starting to. It's getting so thick in that direction. It's actually dimming the sunlight coming down.
I sense danger.
And yes, in the meantime, Baskeen is like talking to the villagers and like, yes, I will give you this fine food stuff for that fine baz you have there. Yes, that's very good. Yes, very good. Very offer. Yes, so I start giving out pretty much giving out like, food stuff to the people, but also like kind of taking some of their value possessions at the same time, pretty much.
Baskeen, now is not the time.
Oh, there's always time for trading.
Danger! Danger! Actually, I'm going to switch something around. I think I am literally the robot from Lost in Space.
Nice.
Nice.
You actually are playing
like it.
with claws right now.
The claws, yep.
Yeah.
You're playing it with those robot guys.
All right. Well.
So I imagine we go
lead the way.
galloping in that direction. Yes.
All right.
Sure.
So yes, Eskeen, slowly follows with his giant pack lizard.
Nice.
Off we go.
Now it's so it's getting dark from all the smoke blowing all over the place.
Yeah.
Except where the fires rage on the fields.
Yep. All right, so Andrea, set up our next scene.
Okay, so we go galloping off, and the smoke is thick and choking, and we get kind of to the top of a ridge, and looking down, the kind of waves of the beautiful grain growing in the sunlight is just totally on fire. It looks
Beautiful purple grain.
beautiful purple grain, reflecting the flames, because that's what purple grain does, clearly.
Yep.
Wow.
So it looks like, just a sea of fire all around us. And we can see dice. Okay.
Giant
So-
dice are attacking.
Giant dice. So we'll say it's a whole bunch of mooks.
Okay. Cool.
Just going to make it an even number. And we're going to put a lieutenant in there just to make sure they don't screw up burning things down.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's what they're there for. Okay.
Ho, ho, ho!
That is such an Andrea roll.
Interesting. So we have, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mooks up, plus a lieutenant at 8. That's going to be tough.
We can do it.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and actually let me take a moment here to talk about magic. So one of the ideas in here was to sort of codify very broadly what magic can and can't do. And so for sort of PC heroes, wizards can cast spells anytime that they're conscious. And you can sustain a spell as long as that's the only thing you're doing. And magic is generally about sort of shaping energy into some physical form. So you can create, bridges of light. You can create magical rope. You can create walls of force, and you can fire energy arrows, basically, as well as generate light in general. But magic does not generally grant you telekinesis or things along those lines. It's generally about you have this ability to shape energy. And basically, anyone who has anything beyond that is generally a mad sorcerer or evil person. So I'm going to go ahead and use my magic, and I'm going to. So we're on top of a ridge. Are we looking down at the at a town that's on fire?
It's there's like a little series of farmhouses.
Okay.
So the one that's probably closest to the ridge is the one that's the immediate concern.
Okay.
But they're probably going to be burning everything because they seem to be torched.
Right.
The house has already been torched, and it looks like they're torching the fields.
Okay.
Who are they?
Let's do. I'm so sorry, but I really like making the rat men the bad guys.
That's fine.
So, yeah, so we'll make the mooks are all rat men, but the lieutenant is a hawkman.
Ooh, cool.
Oh, wow.
All right, yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Cool. Is he even flying around, observing, riding
He will be shortly.
the updrafts? Nice.
He's like perched on top of the roof of the burning house.
Nice. I need vulture men too. Come to that. Okay, so we've got that. So yeah, so I'm going to oh, classic. I'm going to extend my claws, and a energy will sort of leap out and grab one of the rat men and sort of fling it against a wall. So one of the stone walls around one of the houses, it just flies through the air and does that whoosh whoop and hits the wall and slides down, so he's knocked unconscious. So that'll take down one of the fours.
Cool. So you're spending a hero point to do that.
And that is a hero point, yes.
Cool. All right. I'm a wizard, so I'm gonna try to protect people. My wizardy magic. So I'll. I don't know. I'm not really assaulting anybody or anything, but I'm just gonna, I start thinking, and I'm like, think cool thoughts, and this
Beveled thoughts.
magical kind of magical snow goes and kind of surrounds everybody, everybody in the group, and lets you go through the flames to get to these guys.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all sparkly, magical.
Mm-hmm. Very white.
All right. Somebody else is gonna have to do the actual brunt work, though. Go for it.
I'll drop it. I'll spend a hero point to take out one of the rat men.
Okay.
Down to 3. So Courtyard is still can't believe his stop sign doesn't work, and he's going to try it out again. He says something no one can understand because only words he can speak are "You deserve a break today." Everything else is just He swings it down, but instead of using the stop sign, he uses the cement brick on the other side to make sure it works, and he smashes one of the rat men in the head with it.
Nice.
And spends 1 hero point for that. So.
And tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to revise that. And instead of having a rat man fly into a wall, I'm going to have 2 of them bonk together. So I'll spend 2 hero points total to take out, and so we'll take out another 4.
Nice.
Got it.
Nice.
So we have 1
So
4
when you
left.
spend a hero point, you actually take out a mook or something?
Every time you spend a hero point, you decrease 1 die by 1, and once they get down to a 3, they're done.
That makes sense.
But we now got those. We got 1 4 and a couple of 6s and an 8.
Yeah.
Okay, so now if you're not using your catchphrase or your other
Stunt.
your stunt, what do you roll? In general.
You have to use those to actually roll.
And your refusal counts as a thing, right?
Actually, it does not, according to the
okay.
rules.
Okay.
Although that's an interesting idea.
So the things you have to roll are your stunt, your catchphrase, and your roll?
Your roll, your catchphrase, and your stunt, yes.
Okay.
Again, the refusal should be another hero point generation mechanism.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Oh,
All right. So yes, I'm gonna do something by just spending hero point just to roll 1 of the dice and take out some mooks.
Mm.
Yes. I point my hand forward and I say, "Forward, tongue, crush them!" As my pack lizard just marches forward and totally flattens a bunch of runs over a bunch of rat men. And then yes, and then they see the seed of them lying, going, oh, look at that! They're being run over by a big giant lizard.
Nice.
So that's going to cost 1 hero point, but that takes out.
Limping away.
So you took out that last 4, right?
Yes, it did. It's basically yes. As a giant pack lizard basically just flattened them.
One thing I forgot, Joe just pointed out, is that if you roll max on a die, then you get to roll another one of those dice for free.
So we had a 10 earlier, so whoever that was should get a roll of dice now.
Yeah, who rolled a 10?
I think that was
I think it was,
Brent.
Was it
No,
me?
you just lowered it.
No.
Was it John?
must
Someone
have
rolled
been
a
me,
10.
Pretty
think-
sure.
Let's give it to John.
Was it?
Sure.
Wait, was it Aaron?
I didn't roll anything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Didn't.
I'll do it. I'll do it. It's fine.
Okay.
So, well, I get a 3.
Yeah. Oh well.
It was a good try.
I would have gone for the mook, but that's all right.
It's a number.
Yeah. Fair enough.
All right.
All right.
So I'll burn third arm stunt.
Okay.
Courtyard screams. He's all excited. He's jumping up and down, swinging his all 3 arms over his head. He's now actually knocked someone out. He picks up that Ratman with his third arm, which is a big, beefy-looking thing, out of the underneath his one of his dinkier arms. He picks up that Ratman, and he I'm going for the lieutenant. He's going to use the Ratman as a battle club now.
Nice.
Excellent.
So let me. Oops, dry stream closed on me. Go 10.
Oh, look at that!
Nice.
Nice.
Very well done.
Yeah. So go ahead and roll another
And,
die.
all right, so I'm going to roll that again, and
So you can go for the mook. with
yep,
that
going
other
for the
die?
mook with the 6.
All right.
Cool.
And I got an 8.
Oh,
So
that.
I think he slams that Ratman into the lieutenant, and the lieutenant flies off and hits the other mook, landing on top of him and taking him out.
Perfect.
So you,
And he
Have
screams,
you along.
you have to.
and he
so you, like,
screams
throw-
something, and he
Take-
goes over and pets his giant. It looks like a caterpillar. That's his mount.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, he likes the soft hide.
Took the Hawkman right out of the air.
Is that what the 6 was? Yeah, Hawkman.
Excellent. Is
So
that
I
all of
think
them?
there's 1 mook left.
Oh, we still have
Isn't that
another
what I
6.
just did with the second roll?
No, that was
were
the second
2.
dice. Mhm.
Okay.
Get another one.
Another 6. Yeah, okay.
And you guys were worried about this.
I guess my character Mesquine will look to the other one and says, "I have a giant lizard. You are just a ratling on foot. Who do you think has the better odds? Run while you can." So yes, wicked tongue.
Okay.
Yes,
So this is your second time using that, right?
not the same scene, no.
But, the second time total, though.
Yes.
Okay, then you'll roll a d8.
Okay. I thought it refreshes after every scene.
It does not. No.
Okay. No, fine. All right. Well. So, this room. Four.
Okay.
So close.
Yeah.
That mook is holding on.
Yeah. Anyone have any hero points? I'm down to 1 hero point, so I don't kind of want to use it just yet.
Okay, I will defer one of my hero points towards that if someone for another one.
Sure. So yeah, so and what do you? Oh, you're talking to him.
Yes, yes,
It's-
tell them to run. Yes, tell them that the odds are
Baskine,
against.
Baskine, talking won't work on this one. Go for him, and I concentrate and I try to freeze the guy with my this magical white stuff. Basically slow him down so you can chase him.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
so yeah, I'll tell you what happens now. Now that he's slowed down and he's not listening, he said, "All right, have it your way. Nekatam, eat him." So basically, the giant lizard just he puts his mouth over it and just swallows them all.
Nice.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Now, one other thing I should
Yes,
point out.
fine meal for Nekatam. Yes, that's the giant lizard. because it's a big pack animal. It's like an elephant-sized, like lizard, so it can't eat people all.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Now, I should point out, we can leave dice undefeated if we want to, but they'll come back at the end of the act. So they're basically mooks that scurried away, but will come back to us later. So if we end up with a couple of, and the other thing I should point out is that when they come back, actually I forgot how I ruled that. Anyway, yeah. So if they're rather tough, we can decide we're going to push them off some other point. All right, cool. So Andrea, who finishes out the scene?
We will give it to Brendan because he has been very quiet this scene.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, I want to make sure here. So the act ends when we've all had a scene, right?
Mm-hmm. And it ends with that final scene in the act.
Okay. All right. Sure. So, Newhall is picking over the dropped goodies of the dead and dismayed and retreated and bashed and frozen and what have you, baddies, and picking over their stuff, pocketing things here and there. Here's the thing I like. Oh, it's a keychain. That's fun. And he finds a map of the local area, and as he's unfolding it, he's like, hey guys, so worse news. And the map shows like local settlements, small local towns, and it shows actually a lot of like arrows pointing inward at a place on the center of the map. And it's a city called Apple Tree. And because it's Apple Tree is built around like the last apple tree left, the last pure apple tree left, and these arrows are pointing inward, and there are little notes written on the map that are like, gate will be opened at X time. And so, yeah, I like hold the map as we all gather around it, and I'm like, so, I say we go the other way, because then we won't die.
Yes, but the apple tree, the apples are very rare and delicate. We need to protect them, or so we may trade them later.
Well, perhaps if we can demand a couple of apples in exchange for our service, I can see my way to that plan.
A few apples could do you for some time, and a tree of apples could do a lifetime.
My logic banks are confused as to why a warlord would want an apple tree. I'm very curious. I suggest that we
There's many ways an apple tree can be used. After all, it is a regenerating food supply, and also it's something which survived the old days. It may have magical power of some kind.
Ooh, I'm up for that.
Sold.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So we depart for Apple Tree.
All right.
So
we're there.
what was that?
So what happens next?
So we're on the way to Apple Tree, and I think actually at this point so Apple Tree is built around the giant apple tree, so it's sort of a circular city, and the ways to come into Apple Tree come along these like streams of myriad colored fluids, and we're walking along one of those streams when we start hearing lots of noise ahead of us, and it's actually, what was that?
Sounds like beeping.
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
Never mind. Good.
Sorry.
Okay.
And there's lots of noise ahead of us, and we are shortly seeing, like as we hunker down, we see in front of us this core of guys, and they're all wearing, like, I'm imagining there's some identifying mark that all of these mooks that we've been beating up have been wearing to mark them all as part of the Warlord's army. So, like, since the Warlord is a metalloid, they're all wearing, like, little pieces of metal that identify them. And so it's another group of his who are actually putting together a dam so that the waters flowing in towards Apple Tree will actually be stopped. And we're looking upon them, and it's like, what's going on? And then one of them spots us. This elephantine guy with a big long trunk, and he just lets out a giant toot into the air, and the rest of them all turn. And because I'm not quite, like, horrible, like some people demanding that ratlings always be the bad guys, these people are roach people.
Ooh. All right.
The roach people who had been scurrying and constructing the dam suddenly just start scurrying towards us in a horde as the elephantine guy picks up a gigantic battle axe and advances behind them.
All right. So what are we facing?
I'm a roll for a bunch of things.
All right.
All right, here we go.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have a 4, a 6, a 5, and an 8. Ouchie wawa.
Some high numbers.
Yeah, they are. Okay. I'm gonna use my. Yeah, I'm gonna use my my danger sensing pendant. To suss out which of these. Actually, I'm going to use it against the elephant guy, because I'm going to figure out which one of these is the greatest danger, and go after the elephant guy instead of the other ones. That's going to be using that as my D10, and see if I can take out the lieutenant. That's a yes! Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm using the pendant to guess his strategy and understand how dangerous he is and work around him, and then I just zap him with a laser bolt. And he just falls over.
That's so much for planning. Laser
So
bolt.
you rolled another die now because you rolled maxed out?
No, I was rolling a D10 and got an 8, so it's not a max.
Okay. I thought you already used the thing already, though.
I used my dangers. I used my catchphrase before,
Okay.
Which is "I sense danger."
Right.
I'll spend a hero point to take out the 4,
All right.
which is one of the roaches, I guess. Gives me 2 hero points.
Nice.
Cool.
And then Willow will.
Hang on. What are you doing?
Oh.
There?
Oh, I'm
He's,
sorry.
Yep. He's riding up on his giant caterpillar, and he swings. This time, instead of using his stop sign, he's got a very long pole. Looks like it used to be a street sign. You can see the elm and occidental off the sides of it. They're bent, curved around. He's using it as a lance, and he harpoons the guy
Nice.
with the tip.
Poor cockroach man.
Yep. Of course, he'll eat cockroaches, so he gets off and cleans him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cockroach is good eating.
Crunchy outside, chewy inside.
Plus, the armor always makes great bowls and stuff.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. I got excited.
Okay.
So Willow is going to use her "Where do you want to go?" catchphrase. Basically, she can see kind of a way down the or a path kind of to them that's not terribly dangerous. And so she kind of skitters down that path and actually is close enough to take a shot.
Okay.
So you probably have to use that and like have to say to your catchphrase if you use it, don't you?
Should.
So she's basically going to kind of turn to the rest of the party and kind of, where do you want to go? And, because, they're like, we need to get over there so we can actually take out that guy.
Yes.
Get to the tree. Yes.
Over the bridge.
And then I roll a 3. Of course I do.
Ah.
Do something wonderful, guys.
So you fired an arrow at one, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So Newhall actually scurries and picks up the arrow, and just dashes behind one of the cockroaches and starts jamming it into his eye.
Okay.
No, you didn't miss.
Okay, so you're gonna spend 1 hero point.
I will spend 2.
Okay.
Ooh.
Wow. Got one. All right. It's time for.
I have one more use of my cash raise before I'm out of other things I can do.
Let's see. I'll use. I'll go after this mook. Steve the Wizard walks up to this roach man, and just using superhuman reflexes almost, just dodges out of the way as he tries to poke me with his hammer or whatever he's using to destroy this thing or build this thing, whatever they're doing. And
Hammer sounds right.
I just get up right in his face and read his mind. I'm like, your deepest fear is the sunlight. And at that moment, clouds part, sun shines down, and let's see, dices. Got him.
Nice.
So yeah, just this. He freaks out, right? And just like when a person walks into a room and all the roaches scatter, he just skitters away.
Very good.
So then I will pass it, and only Joe and John still have scenes to go, right? Just make sure. Okay. I'll pass it to John.
Okay. Yes. So now that you've defeated the people what send the dam and defend the area, the group heads on towards where the apple tree is, the last apple tree of this apple place. However, they see a sight which frightens them as they see that around the tree some various runes have been carved into the ground, and there's a figure of some kind, except that he seems to be all you can see is a big shroud of cloak around him and a black hood over his face and just pure darkness on the inside. And there's chains which rip up from the bottom of the cloak and seem to hold this cube which has these red runes carved all over it and glows a crimson red. And basically the runes of the ground are glowing too, and you can see that the tree is as these things are glowing, the tree is starting to wither as some of the leaves are starting to turn brown. Yes. Yes, and yes. Other than that, there's 2 other big metal guys, the metalloids. Except that these metalloids look like they have big, large guns of some kind.
Ooh.
Yes, and ancient weaponry. And yes, he looks to you, and a dark voice comes out of the cloak. And he says, "You dare interfere with the machinations of Ikanu, you shall face your doom."
Nice.
So,
We dare. I sense danger.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, this is there's no mooks in this fight. It's mainly versus lieutenants.
Okay.
And I'm not sure. This guy's a named character. Or do you have something special?
So if we're facing the main villain, or of course there can be several main villains, he would have a D10, and you can have multiple D10s if he has multiple things going on. So, for example, and probably wouldn't be for this one, but like if the guy has 3 tentacles, then each one of those could be a D10.
Oh, actually, yes. What he said, actually, even better. When he says that, then from under his cloak appears 2 like whipping tentacles like pop up from the bottom of the thing, like black tentacles.
Okay.
As well. Yes. Yes.
All right.
Yeah, black barbed tentacles. Yes.
Perfect. All right,
So you
let's
make those
roll. See what happens.
D8s.
Okay, so he's a major villain because he's a main character. The other guys are just lieutenants.
Okay.
And so I roll D10 for him, I guess.
Yeah, 2D10, 2D8s.
Okay, so I roll one for. Okay, so I roll for the tentacles and him or something.
The idea is that in a sense, the villain doesn't get a die him or herself. The villain gets a die for everything the villain's trying to do. So those tentacles.
He's basically trying to do is basically draw the power from the tree into that device, which he has.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Yeah. So I say 2D10
okay.
for him.
And then 2D8 for the lieutenants.
Metalloids. Yep.
Yeah, metalloids, yes. So.
Ooh. Good.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
You fool. Your reach exceeds your grasp. You will destroy that which you wish to conquer.
I do not care about this tree. I am really as it draws power, so I may become stronger.
And I'm gonna wizard battle it out with this guy.
Okay.
And
Sweet.
Okay.
sort of
Okay.
psychic thought waves go out.
At the
magical
same time,
energy.
just like red crackling like lightning kind of like shoots from the cube which he has.
Nice. I'm trying to like get between him and the tree with my thoughts and protect it.
Yeah.
So. Oh, roll the 4.
Ah,
I'll do. Maybe I can. One of his is a 4, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll take that one out and kind of I'm keeping him distracted, keeping him from reaching the tree, but at the same time
you have to keep him from draining the tree more than already has. Yes.
Fully wrapped up, fully concentrated on this thing.
Okay.
And I'll do the same thing. I'll use my wizard roll to just engage in a battle of just full scale, wizardly powers back and forth.
Yes.
Sweet.
So casting spells, all that good stuff.
Team wizard.
Yeah. Good thing I saved that one. Roll that. Please, please, please. Yes. All right. Cool. We'll go the classic '80s thing and. The energy blasts back and forth, and then there's just an explosion, and he flies back. So there's no reason why it would happen, but just mine overpowered his.
Okay. Yes. Okay. You do that, and yes, the cube explodes.
Oh no! Okay.
Yes. There's basically it's overload with magical energy. Yes.
Perfect.
So that takes him out of the fight, does it?
So now we still have the 6.
Yep.
Yeah, the other 2 are the groups.
Yeah. Then the other lieutenants step forward.
Yes, yes. So, basically cover him, and basically, yes, since he's kind of out of the fight, I gotta choose him. Yes, so yes, you knock him back, but he gets up, and you still don't see what's under his cloak. And it's basically his cloak seems to be some sort of ancient magical device, which kind of kept him from being killed by the explosion. He says, "Fools, you will rule the day that you crossed and Connie the mighty." And with that, he disappears into a black cloud and flies away.
Cool.
Wow.
Yes. He says,
Right.
he says "Kill them, my slaves." As he basically run away. He's a turn villain. So yeah, there you go.
These lieutenants, what do they look like again?
They are basically the metalloids with large future guns.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right. Cool.
Yeah, so I'm dashing forward onto one of the metalloids, and I'm unscrewing it and taking out its circuits as I go, and I'm singing to myself my own little song. I'm like, greed is good, greed drives the world. Yeah, and I'm just basically taking it apart and taking what I can as I go.
Wow.
So I'm gonna go ahead and roll a d10. Where Dice Stream? Where'd you go? Come back here.
Just completely heedless of the danger.
Yes, completely. Greed requires commitment.
True.
Well, the game ends after everyone plays.
Oh
He still
Perfect.
takes out the lesser mook. The lesser.
Well, he was already gone because he was a 2,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Well, you could
yeah.
say that I took him out.
Sure. I took him apart.
Yeah.
I thought the lieutenants still have to be fought, but I guess not.
In my pockets.
Yes. Yes. So you take out that one, but the other one starts firing. It's future. You got energy
Uh-oh.
start blasting at you, and you start dodging and ducking away from them.
Nice.
So yeah. So who's gonna go next?
Anyone?
Baskini is not. You gotta get involved here. So
I will go next,
okay.
unless Joe wanted to do something.
Nope. Go ahead and go.
Okay. So using her empathic environmental power thing, Willow knows that due to the magics that have been wrought on the tree already, its roots that were once mighty and very deep in the earth have kind of shriveled.
Yeah.
So if she can fire an arrow to push him just like a step back, he's going to fall into a sinkhole.
Cool.
Alright.
Haha. Take that.
Nice. Boom. Off he goes.
Okay, so yes, you shoot him in kind of his power circuit, and he sparks and goes into kind of a seizure that falls backwards into the sinkhole. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right.
So this is on to Joe.
Oh, it's on to Joe, right?
Yes, on to Joe.
So we've what was the name? What was the name we gave the one Mentaloid?
Oh,
Yeah, he's still around. It seems we haven't taken him out yet.
Did we?
No, we didn't. He wasn't in this fight.
Yeah.
Or I thought you called him. No, what was
This
his
was
name?
a different. This guy. This was
Yeah.
basically. Yeah, this was
Okay,
a different guy.
Okay, so
So
he's
the-
gone, but the other
Yes,
Mentaloids.
you don't know what he was exactly because basically he was in a black cloak. Only showed that these black tentacles came out of it. He also had chains like wrapped around
crazy. What was his name?
In Kanu.
Oh, in Kanu.
In Kanu.
Cool.
Something like that. All right.
All right, so everyone's now decimated. The tree is safe. We think we've covered, and I guess we're going to close out Act 1 with thinking we've succeeded when we see a flying platform with 2 more Metaloids returning.
Oh
And
no.
also we haven't taken out the head metal guy yet either.
Well, there's supposed to be 2 more acts of us going around on top of that. So
There's 2 more acts. I thought this was the first act. Yeah.
this first act. So this is just
Mhm.
the end of first act. So the first act, when we thought we succeeded, now the bad comes for that, and we've got 2 more Metaloids returning, saying you cannot have the sacred apple tree.
Yep.
We are protecting the last of the apple trees. Do you not understand the importance of the legend of the apple? Which I think Steve should understand the importance of the apple.
Right.
So
Yes, absolutely.
it's the only key for bringing technology back to the world is through the apple.
Right.
So they are going to protect the apple tree, and they are
Yes.
raining.
Yes, we must defend the ancient ideas, the sacred ideas against the machines,
And
business machines, if you will.
yeah, business machines. They're evil, but they see this as the apple tree is the symbol. They've heard all the legends about the apple, so so we can go with the Apple computers, or we can go with Apple Seed. They've seen it all, and
There we go.
the future is Apple.
So we know. So now we kind of know most of what he's been up to, recruiting this army, and then
Mhm.
Yep.
trying to get the power of the apple for some purpose.
Mm.
Okay, and what does where does Kanu actually fall into this?
Yeah, that's a good
Is he a
question.
player, or is he actually working with them?
Yeah, we'll find out.
Yes.
All right.
So Joe, what's our final conflict for the act?
So, 2 Metalloids, flying platform. They are shooting down lightning bolts at you from their lightning guns.
Cool.
So we'll just go with let's see, platform is a weapon. So I'll give that. We're just going to go with 3d6s because you guys are really taking out everything we have.
Nice.
We still have 3 more acts to go.
2 more. Yeah.
So 2 more. Excuse me.
Oh, God.
Oh,
That's nukes, but don't you also have the head guy there too? You have to roll for him.
No, they're just metalloids. It's not the head metalloid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Nope.
All right.
So the 4 is the platform. The 6 and the 5 are each a metalloid with a lightning gun.
I'm going to use my remaining hero point to fire a bolt of laser energy at the platform, and take out the just the guns on the platform.
Okay, that takes it down to 3. It's gone.
Okay.
Nice.
All right.
Anyone else?
Awesome. So it crashes down, and there's this big explosion, but then the metalloids just stand back up and keep coming at us.
I think the metalloids floated down. They have anti-gravity shoes on.
Oh, there we go.
So I'm like, wait! I found an ancient text that described exactly how to defeat lightning guns. And I pull out like a little piece of tinfoil and I just hold it up. And they fire their lightning at me, and I'm counting on it to reflect the lightning back. Let's see what happens. So I'm using my scavenger roll.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
I hope you roll a 1 so we get another Moog.
Oh, okay. So yes, that's a good question. Can you actually use your actual roll as a die?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes, you can.
Well, I'll actually take out the 6 because I got an 8. So,
Okay.
good.
And that was rolling a d8?
That was rolling a d10. I haven't used my scavenger roll yet.
Gotcha. Cool.
All right, so we have 1 5 left.
Okay. So yes, I haven't used my roll yet, so I think I'm going to do that. Just going to see what can I actually do with my roll. Exactly.
Well, your role is trader, so do something tradey.
Okay. Yes. He says. Yes, I believe I exchanged for something which could be of use here. He digs through his packs and he takes out what looks like a bazooka and he says, "Say hello to my little friend." And he's gonna shoot.
Cool.
Yes. Yes, so he's gonna shoot the thing with bazooka.
All right.
So that would be a trader, which is the D10 or what?
You bet. D10?
Okay, yes. Yeah, I trade for this and I'm gonna use it. Okay. So 10. Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so can I recharge a hero point for that or something?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Yeah, says I basically shoot the thing with bazooka and it blows up.
Brilliant.
In a big shower of sparks, and of course it's it doesn't leave any bodies. There's just nothing left, pretty much.
And it's an 80s cartoon, so we can blow up robots.
Yes. Yes. All the parts fly everywhere.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, that was a good investment.
So I'm gonna say now that we run through. So normally when I've only played this with three players, we didn't need to refresh at all. But obviously we're gonna need to refresh more. So I'm gonna say that we need. I'm gonna say that you would have started with 2 hero points times the number of players.
Yeah.
Seems about right. So that would be 12 players. So add 7 to your hero point total.
Okay. 7. So let's right now add 7 onto that.
Correct.
So, okay, I have 11 hero points then.
Wouldn't it be 6?
9.
I have 4. I had 3 base, and then I basically got 1 for rolling at D10, and then I had 7 on top of that.
That's fine. All right.
Okay, I've stocked up my hero points. I haven't used them.
Yeah.
Okay.
And let's say, I'm trying to think of a good way to refresh your stuff without getting them all back to normal.
Well, I think it'd be a good opportunity to work in the refusal. So if you can work that in somehow,
Yeah.
and you can narrate what the enemies are doing, or
Mm-hmm.
what they're like pushing you towards or whatever. Or maybe you could get somebody else to get another player to like tell you to do something, right? Or
Right.
work that in. So if you can push on other people's refusals, then they'll that can get you a use back of your catchphrase or of your thing. So then you don't
Gotcha.
get everything back, but just
So the
I like it.
refusal first time gives you back a D10, second time gives you back a D8. Just use the same rules, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I like that. Yeah, let's go with that moving forward, and let's say that if you've used any of your things up completely, then they go back to just one use.
Mm-hmm. All right, but if you just use it once, you don't get anything.
I think at this point they'll stay with the one use. So you'll have one use left. But now we'll add the new rule that so let's say that any player can challenge another player with a refusal. Basically, say I think you should refuse at this point. And if the player if the player role plays in such a way that they do successfully, how to put this?
You're trying to compel.
Well, exactly. But I think I wanted that if you do indeed refuse to do what your refusal tells you to do, then you should get the use back. I.e., if you say I never kill, and you have a chance to kill, and you do not kill, then you should get something back, because you're playing your character.
So would you spend a hero point,
like
a fate point, for the that's your act? So you only can
I don't know,
enforce the catchphrase on that, because giving up a dice is too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you get a 1 point hero point, and then you give up that hero point, and you narrate out an awesome refusal, that becomes a new die roll for later on in the game.
So I would
saying?
Yeah, I like that. So you spend a hero point, you do something cool, and then I'm going to say that would refresh a roll, catchphrase, or stunt.
Okay. Now, if you said if you used up all your catchphrases, stunts, races, rolls, you could still roll against them. Is that what you said? Before
I did not say that, but I may put that into the rules. Let me check.
No, you didn't split the rules. I thought I heard you say something about after you used everything up when you were talking.
Yeah, no. If you use everything up, then you're done. You're out.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if that becomes a D6 once they're used up.
Right. Not a bad idea.
All I'm thinking is the economy right now is kind of broken, and the fact that we used way too many mooks and villains for what we had to start with. Maybe. So if you at least have D6s, you can keep on going.
True. Yeah, let's add that as a rule. So if you've used up your stuff, you can at least roll a D6. That's good.
Yeah, if you used up everything, though, right?
Yeah, everything.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Cool.
All right. So let's start Act 2 then.
All right. So Joe, who does Act 2?
Since it was Act 2, I was going to give it back to you to lead us off.
Okie doke. Let me just type up real quick. Do
you want someone else to do it so you can type your notes for what you just changed?
Let's take a quick second. Cool. All right. So we've faced the bad guys. So tell you what, let's do a quick sort of non-combat scene in between the next thing. So let's say we now have a time to talk to the inhabitants of Apple Tree. So we're going to ask around, see if there's a village elder, and of course there is. And so it's an old woman who's all hunched over, wearing robes, with a staff, and we ask her about what's going on here. If this were a classic cartoon, then she would actually tell us about the apple tree, what it's for, and so forth. So let's see here. She'll tell us that the Metalloids have been coming, have attacked them several times in the past. And it appears that the Metalloids have some legend or story or something that they believe is about the apple, the apples in the apple tree. That there's something about that is important to them that they want to get. And she doesn't know what it is, but it's quite strange. So this means we're going to have to, let me double check what the act actually says. So in this act, we pursue the warlord, but are fought off by the warlord's lieutenants. So we're going to have to take the fight to the Metalloids Empire. We're going to have to go there and stop them from doing that. This is dangerous because, gosh, the Metalloids are scary. So we'll say the Metalloids have a large camp that they've set up. That is some distance away. So it is definitely a Metalloid environment, but it's not like the main empire. And so we're going to need to go there and fight them off. So we will head off in that direction. So tell what we'll do. We'll start off with, we're being proactive instead of reactive this time.
Yeah.
So we're sort of sneaking through the jungle, and we come upon and we surprise a scout party. And so we're going to say that this is an easy scout party, and we're going to say there are just 2 mooks because we might want to actually question them for once. So we're going to go with 2 mooks and see what happens. Whoops, I rolled d4s. Let me do that again. Sorry. Still, that's pretty straightforward. So a 4 and a 1.
So one
Anyone
goes
want to jump in that?
I will. I'll just spend a hero point. So basically, Willow was, sneaking ahead as she does, and they come across them, and they, as they kind of break into smaller scouting parties, she is able to take out the 2 with assassin stealth.
Nice.
So I'll spend a hero point to knock that 4 down to a 3.
Okay, cool. Are you attacking to kill or to maim?
Maim, because I think.
Alive, so.
Yeah. Unless they're metal dudes, and that sort of changes things. But.
Well, that's a good point. Tell you what, let's go a little different here. We're going to say that these are metal dogs.
Metal dogs.
Nice.
I like it. Okay, so in that case, what she'll do is it'll still be the use of the hero point, but what she'll do is she'll basically kind of use her knowledge of the woods and spring a trap for them.
Okay.
And basically kind of lead them back into an ambush of where the party is waiting, and they are able to take them down.
Okay. Cool.
Stop letting question these dogs anyway.
All right, then I am going to pass it over. I'm actually going to pass it over to Andrea.
Oh no, me. Okay. So on Willow scouting, she was able to determine kind of the broad movements of the scouting parties. And since we kind of have a goal in mind, she's going to kind of explain, they're kind of going this way and they're going this way, but there's this kind of narrow swath of land kind of through an old riverbed that It's kind of become a swamp after the burning, and they don't patrol in there. And Willow knows it's very dangerous, but they are trying to get to where they're going.
Okay.
So she's going to recommend they go through the riverbed.
Fortunately, there can't be any monsters or creatures in the riverbed at all, so we're fine.
It's fine. So they've probably made it about 3/4 of the way through the riverbed, and it's typical swampy, like it's really humid and gross and smelly, and there's all of a sudden, I'll pick on my character since I'm nice. There's kind of subtle, it almost looks like a snake, that kind of back and forth movement in the water. And so Willow kind of motions for everyone to stop, and she kind of leans in to look at it, and a tentacle reaches up and kind of reaches around her shoulders and pulls her down. So, we'll give it like 3 tentacles maybe.
Okay.
And I'll just put them at D6s.
That's easier to animate.
Yes. And also, my character's drowning, so the easier, the better.
You want to use the main creature as a lieutenant, maybe, based on the main body?
This should be okay, because it's a swamp, right? So either you guys are going to go, in and actually kill it, or once you just beat it down enough, it'll just go away. So...
Okay. I'll spend a hero point to take out the 4. So I'm going to use my my magical energy rays, being a robot, and I'll just zap one of the tentacles, and it'll just kind of.
Okay. Steve the Wizard, speaking of easier to animate, Steve the Wizard's gonna get the little waves, and then he's just walking over the river using magic.
Of course Steve walks on water.
Just his normal walking animation. And he using his his wizard powers or whatever, he starts grappling with one of the tentacles. So I'm using my wizard roll. Oh wait, it's my second time using it, so I get it. We'll just say I rolled an 8.
Okay, that's fine.
As if it was a D8. And so that's enough to take out the last guy.
Excellent.
Just
That'd be a maxed out die, would it? No.
It's a maxed out die, so you get an extra hero point.
Oh, a hero point. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So something that I think Joe suggested in the sidebar is that if you roll max, you either roll an extra die or you get a hero point.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this thing I kind of surprise it because it doesn't sense me. I'm not in the water, so it leaps up and I'm able to grab it and yank it around and squeeze it and then throw it off the side, off into the jungle.
Excellent.
And Steve just continues walking as if no big deal.
Of course he does. So then I will hand it off to Joe.
All right, so in the swamp, need some help here. What are we doing in the swamp?
We're trying to
we
get to the Metalloids camp.
Yep.
Right. Why the Metalloids live in the swamp? Wouldn't they rest?
Nope. This is this is some of the land surrounding their
Sure, I got
area,
it.
and this was an area that was not patrolled very heavily, for reasons apparently.
Okay.
Maybe it gets drier
right.
further on.
So hunting Courtyard knows this area, and he says we should go this way. He's hunted here many times. This is he likes to eat swamp creatures. They're tangy and chewy.
Good barbecue.
Let's face it, there's very little Courtyard does not like to eat.
That's true. No, he doesn't like eating you. You look pretty
good.
scrawny, yeah. And the robots, they're too crunchy. They hurt his teeth. So he dismounts from his giant caterpillar-like creature because it does not do well in swamps. It's little short legs and it gets bogs down, and its nice soft coat gets wet. It stinks really bad. It's no good in the swamp.
My pack lizard is just fine in the swamp. It's the size of an elephant, so it can, and it's a lizard, so it can handle it.
Yeah. So he starts to lead on, and you come across, I guess at this point, let's see, what creatures haven't we used yet?
Hmm.
Oh, I think it's definitely time for land sharks.
Yeah.
Right. Just when
Definitely.
you thought you were out of the water and safe.
Because, of course, land sharks nest in marshes and swamps. That's where they
Of course.
mate, and that's where they have their youngins. You stumble across a land shark nest.
Ah. I hate when that happens.
And Courtyard, of course, is going to be very excited because land sharks are really good eating. Plus, all those teeth, you can use them for so many different things.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right. So
Land
let's see
shark
here.
pit
I
soup,
think
man.
so. Are we saying land sharks are going to be mostly mooks? Is that okay, or do we want to make them more than mooks?
Yeah. Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll go with they're all mooks. Oh wait, we have one alpha male, so we'll roll a d8
Okay.
for
There
him.
you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And we'll have four
the
others.
mama.
Actually, excuse me, the mom's the D8 and the males are the
Oh, there we go.
D6s.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
The
that
mama
makes more
shark.
sense. There we go. Rolled well.
Of course, it's
Why are our bad guy D8s always rolling like maxes? Jeez.
Oh wait, I rolled a max. Doesn't that mean I have to roll another dice? Oh wait, I rolled
one
a
and
1. The
two
rule
are-
says every time you roll a 1, you have to roll another mook. Oh wait. Oh, that's the PC rolls, not
Yeah, it's
the
a PC roll.
acting channels. Yeah. Okay.
all right.
All right. So who's going first?
All right.
So 1, 2, and 3 go both.
Yep, I'm crossing them out right now.
Okay. Well, let's see. I'm going to go, and I'm going to spend 2 hero points to take out the 5 on
Okay.
that. So the way that happens is that basically giant lizards feed on land sharks. It's basically the land sharks basically just open the giant lizard just opens its mouth and starts swallowing the land shark's whole and munching on them because they're a delicacy to lick on my giant pack lizard. Yes. So yes, that deals with the mooks at least.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the females raises up defending
Mm.
the nest and is pissing it, telling you that if you don't leave, she's going to swallow you whole. You can tell.
Are the
Guess it's very
lizards intelligent or are they just wild animals?
In here it looks to be pretty much wild animals.
You can go either way. Heck,
You
these
would-
could be
you would-
mutant land sharks.
Yes.
Yeah. You would think that they're just wild animals, but Steve the Wizard gives them more credit than that.
Okay. So it
So-
says they're like 15-foot beasts, so I probably eat like the little ones
All right.
because
Well-
I think it's the size of an elephant, not the size of a 15-foot tall land shark.
Mm.
So I just eat the babies.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Steve walks up to the mama and starts to argue and persuade. Look, Miss Landshark, your whole species, the dominant paradigm is to nest in water, but you're a land shark. That does not make sense. Go into the jungle and make your nest there. Free your mind, man. Don't conform.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna spend some hero points.
Okay.
Yes, and 5 hero
It's a-
points to
it's an
take it
8.
down.
Yeah, 5 hero points. Boom.
Really?
Done.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Fair enough.
All right.
Steve gets up on a dais, starts explaining everything to do, and
Yes.
It goes away.
There are a few flow charts that appear on poster board.
So that, and also all his babies got eaten by the giant lizard.
Doesn't even care. Just
Maybe. Oh, I know. Now the land shark it kind of pauses and like seems to be listening, and then it just rah opens up. But Steve just grabs it by the tail, swings it around a couple times, and then
Okay.
throws it off in the jungle.
All right.
As if
Nice.
swinging
I like
a hammer.
I like how that's our wizard's like go-to move. Just pick it up and throw it.
Yes.
All right.
I learned how to fight from an old, very old videotape that survived.
I think it's John Baskine's next up.
All right, John. Uh-oh.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So, with dealing with the land sharks, you finally reach the outer wall of the Metalloid encampment, and indeed, this is a very impressive looking place. They actually have built like walls made of like junk from like ancient wrecks to actually build like a wall around this place, and
Wow.
they've actually look like they've actually paved a bit of paved road which goes through the front gates, and also there's strange little things which look like like guns, like which are propped up on top of the wall, and they kind of look around and with a little flashing light on them. And so yes, and then basically this as the group gets close, the sensors go off, and then some of the alarms start around. And then
I sense danger.
yes, he says danger. So what is going to happen is there's going to be the turrets are going to fire, and there's also like Lieutenant Gate Guard, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to say there's 4 turrets, which are basically Mooks, and then 1 lieutenant.
Okay.
So, nice. So yeah, the turrets, of course, aren't doing that well. They're
Okay.
kind of old tech, so they're not very well functioning. And let's see, as for the other guy, he rolled an 8. So yes,
Of course.
at least the gate guard is competent.
Okay.
So yes, the turrets start firing bullets, but 3 of them kind of they look kind of like they're like salvage tech, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of them they're not very. Only one of them really works well. They just spray
Alright.
bullets everywhere and don't hit anything, much like G.I. Joe. Yeah.
All
Okay.
right.
So yes, let's see.
So tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm going to yell out my catchphrase. I sense danger. And I'm going to fire a bolt of energy at the lieutenant. So I'm going to spend 2 hero points to knock
Yes.
that down to a 6.
Yeah. So lieutenant is a metal, by the way.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to fire an energy bolt using my wizard, which is only a D8.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully that'll be enough to take that down. Take that 6. So let's see here. D8. Roll, please, please, please. Ah! So according to the rules,
Yeah, add a mook.
when any player rolls a 1, a new enemy appears. So you have to roll a new mook.
Okay. So yes, I'm gonna say that respond to the alarm with some more like foot soldiers for the
Okay.
brush up to the gate. So they only look 3 now. So they're just
They're easy though. Okay. fair enough.
yes. They're just they're basically just basically soldiers.
Okay.
So I'll bust it off. That's that one.
Yeah. So my energy bolt misses and hits him, and he comes charging at me instead.
Yes.
So I just interpose myself between
Well,
you
more
and
likely he
him.
shoots you. He shoots at you with this big. He has a
Oh, yeah.
gun.
Okay.
Yeah, I
he's guarding
interpose
the wall,
myself
so he would have a
between
range
you and
weapon
him.
to keep repel mortar attackers, pretty much. He wouldn't rush out his defensive defended bunker.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I put myself in between you and him, and I just flip the switch on my Sword of Strange Magnetism, and it starts dragging him forward towards me, and I just hold out the sword.
Perfect.
Okay, make a roll.
Yes. So, and he's a 6 right now, right?
Yes.
Well, if he goes down, I thought you failed to roll. He still stays at 8.
But I
No.
spent 2 hero points.
So he's a 6.
He's a 6.
And I got a 6.
Nice.
Okay, yes, you pull him onto the off that, and he falls off the wall, then lands like face first into the ground below the wall, and the crack is basically he lands face first and it breaks open his brain plate, and there's sparks shooting out of it.
Nice.
Yes.
All right, one more
So
mook.
there's- I'll take the last mook with
Yeah, the
my
move is basically
catchphrase.
Okay.
is basically the turret.
Okay. Turret.
All right. Takes his lance he used earlier and lines up with that one guard, and he launches his lance at him, throwing it. And let's see what happens here when they roll.
Well, it's not a dart, it's a turret.
Mm.
That's a 4, it looks like.
Yep.
Looks like I have to spend a hero point to make it work.
Okay. You gonna do that?
So
Yeah,
I
so you
spend
throw
1
it
hero
there,
point.
You hit
Okay.
hit the turret, and it basically sprays bullets up in the air and then falls backward on the other side of the wall.
Perfect.
Yes.
All right.
Oh. All right. So John, who's next?
Okay. I'm gonna say Brendan is gonna be next.
All right.
Okay.
Just
So
think
the
about
alarms. What was that?
The alarm's
Think
going
about
off
the loot.
still, though. Yes.
behind this solid door that they're trying to protect. This solid wall.
Yeah, there's a solid gate there.
Yeah. So the alarms
Yes.
are going off like crazy, and quickly, Newhall just charges forward and cuts through the solid gate with a magnetic sword that can do weird, crazy things that
Okay.
magnetism
Cut the
can't do.
gate, and basically Baskeen basically falls up and just ramming the gate with this giant pack lizard, and that pretty much opens the door.
And once we're into the city, like there are metalloids rushing around everywhere, and we're dashing in and out of alleyways. And the city is actually fairly geometric. They've built it in stacks of junk and scrap metal, but they built it in this rigorous logical pattern because they're robots, and that's all robots ever do.
Yes.
And so we're dashing in and out of buildings, and we're dashing down alleyways, trying to maneuver our way towards this large building in the center, which is this ominous tower of metal welded together. And eventually we actually reach this like building that's an odd shaped one actually compared to all the rest, and we just dash inside for a moment's respite as a group of metalloid guards passes by, and inside is this smaller metalloid, this like tiny little trash can sized robot with tiny little legs, who actually rushes towards us and is like, what are you doing here? What are you here for?
That's a good question. What are we here for? We're here to stop the invasion and protect the last surviving apple tree, apparently.
Yes, we have a meeting with Mr. Nkanu.
Oh, you're here to work bing boop take down Nkanu? Beep boop blop.
Yes, that thing.
Yes.
Nkanu has been poisoning the mind of our leader. Beep boop.
Let's stop that then.
Leaders beep boop.
He absolutely just constantly beep boops in there.
All right.
80 style beep boops. Work bing boom.
That's where Baskeen, since he can't bring his big pack lizards inside, he perks it outside, ties it down, and basically takes a few bandoliers of stuff and puts on his back. And he comes inside.
So the little trash
When
can.
we get this place from these metal men, we can take everything for ourselves. so much to trade here.
Well, I'm not a fan of the idea of you looting our city, Bing Boop Zorp, but if you're gonna free our leader from Inkanu's influence, here, and he leads you to a trapdoor grating, and he pulls it up, and it's a tunnel. If this will take you straight to the tower, but I can't keep the guards off for long. They'll come after you soon.
Thank you, little metal friend.
Yeah, so you hop into this tunnel and start like scooching along this dark underground tunnel with cables running around from the undersides of these buildings.
Fortunately, there can't be anything underneath here to stop us or anything. So that's
no,
good.
not at all. No, nothing. No problems with like as you're trudging through the random detritus and trash of the machine city. There's certainly not some sort of strange machine mutant that starts rising out of the trash around you and makes this sound as its like claws start scraping across the junk. And no, I mean that doesn't happen.
No, yeah, good.
None of that.
No.
So yeah, it's got like two little things that just roll off of it. It's tiny little trash monsters that it spawned. So I'm gonna do them, and I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
And that should be actually pretty easy.
Hey, yeah, not too bad.
Good.
I'll go ahead and I will spend a hero point to take out one of the little claw monster things. I'll just zap it. Zzz.
Yeah.
Falls apart.
Okay, Vaskeen says, yes, I think I have something for this. That should be rather shocking. As I take out, basically a thing which looks like a lightning rod from my pack, and I basically turn to the bottom of it, and it crackles with electricity. Then I basically shove it, poke it into the bigger thing, and it shocks right through it, and smoke comes out, and then it goes shh, and falls down
Nice.
flat. Yes, and so yes, you got to spend your points to just take out the leader of that.
Nice.
Perfect. Yep, you're still muted.
God damn it!
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna pass this
Hey.
off. Who's still left? Sorry,
I think is Aaron the only one?
Aaron. Okay, so I pass it off to Aaron.
Sweet. Actually, I have 5 of these. Okay. Let's see. So we're inside the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. All right. So we've made it into the very heart of this thing, and we kind of open up the a hatch and climb up, and we're in this big metal tower thing right at the very top, overlooking, and we can see all around all these metalloids running around, and the occasional rat man and stuff below. But up here, Inkannu
Mm-hmm.
is standing sort of overlooking everything, and he's actually also up here, is this kooky, crazy machine with like robot arms going in and assembling more metalloids, and he's sort of looking out for this thing, and he turns around and is like, what's going on? And he steps off out of the tower onto one of these moving platforms and starts flying around, and like he'll stop
He
at
doesn't
one.
need a moving platform. He can fly on his own.
Oh, he can fly on his own.
Yes,
Very,
he
very well.
up,
He starts flying around the
Yes.
outside, and
Yes.
and occasionally, he'll stop at the doorway and shoot some magical energy at us, and then
red
zip
lightning.
around again.
Cool.
Yes, that's pretty much
And
it.
meanwhile,
It's there.
more metalloids are popping out of this machine as they're being assembled.
Question: is the big metal guy here anywhere?
Strangely not.
Okay.
Apparently, he's maybe he's off doing something else.
Maybe. Okay.
So yes, he's a major villain, so he rolls a D10. He's not using. Is he using his black tentacles again?
Well, I'm
So-
I'm saying we already defeated him once.
Yes.
So
Hmm.
I'm saying he's down to just lieutenant style.
Okay.
Oh,
So yes, we can.
We've
Okay,
gotta-
sure.
Just a couple of robots, and who knows, maybe some more robots show up.
Yeah, true.
So,
Look at that.
so one of the robots, I'll say Steve, uh, runs up and screw it. He just, bashes this robot right in the head and says, "Think different!" And he just conk, and he goes down.
Cool.
We still got a 5 mook and a 4 lieutenant.
So the mooks are metalloids, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I will go ahead and use my my pendant to engage strategically as before with a metalloid, and I'm just going to roll a d8 for that one. See here, 8.
Right.
Here's hoping. Ah,
No.
Oh no.
ka-chunk.
Another-
Out comes another metalloid. So yes, I try to engage and I just completely fail. The guy's on me.
Yeah.
Little help.
The true danger was the machine itself.
Yeah.
All right, they're still coming. I can't get a read on this guy. I don't know what he's thinking.
Yeah.
As he continues to fire red lightning at us.
Yes.
Yeah, so he throws a red lightning bolt my way, and I just let out a little "ee!" and I hold up my magnetic sword, and the lightning gets reflected right back at him. Because
Nice.
magnetism is magic.
Exactly.
I'll spend a hero point, and that should kill the 4 lieutenant.
Cool.
Okay. Cool.
What happens to him?
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Do you want to kill him right now, or then again, he hasn't revealed his true self yet.
So the lightning bolt strikes him as it returns, and there's this and it like red lightning coursing all over his body, and then there's this weird vortex swishing motion as he seems to be sucked into a single point, and then just a pop. And he's gone.
Okay.
Whoa.
Nice.
So yes. The reason why I
Yeah.
haven't rolled because usually the major in a lot of cartoons the major villain's like cloaked and stuff. And there's a big reveal later.
Exactly.
Yes.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
So now 2 5s.
Okay. I believe that Rakeen is going to do something here. He's going to let's see. Let's see what do I use. Okay. He says you're engaged. He says to the metalloid, one of the groups of metalloids attacking. He says, "You may think we're threatening, but you should look behind you over there. There's something far worse." So they turn around, and then I take out that shock stick I have again, and shove it into the backs of them, and they get electrocuted. But they bite. They have to roll the dice. So I'm using my wicked tongue.
Okay.
Create a distraction then attacking them behind.
All right.
So I only rolled the 8 for that one. I rolled an 8.
Perfect.
Cool.
So you need to roll
yes.
another d8.
Yes, I will. Roll. I rolled a 6.
Hooray!
So yes, they all turn around and suddenly I just take my shock stick and just shove it into the back of one, and actually what happens is that I smash there's at least a container of where like the water there's a water pipe. I smash it and water pours on the floor. Then I take the stick and shove it against the ground and electrocute the entire group of people
Nice.
of
Cool.
metalloids, and they all yes, and then they fall down like their bodies are on the ground with electricity shocking through them.
Nice.
Cool.
All right.
So it's time for Act 3 then.
Mm-hmm.
So we've taken out one threat mostly, but
Yeah, but I can't use wicked tongue yet.
we still don't know what's going on with the metalloid warlord.
Right. Yeah.
So Joe, do you want to start? Act 3.
Before we start Act 3, can we take a quick bio break?
Thank
Yeah.
you. I was just about to suggest that.
Yeah, good.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right.
So, back
Back
in
in
5
5.
minutes or so.
I can 5. Thanks.
Cool. Okay.
All right.
So
So
can you make sure I have this using the refusal thing, right? So I'm still not clear on that. So I need to like how do I use that? How do I incorporate that?
you spend a hero point. Instead of knocking down the dice, you describe an action that's going to incorporate your refusal. So let's use mine for an example. It's an easy one. One of the creatures I'm fighting, I'm not going to eat. So I would spend a hero point, talk about how I'm trying to either knock it out or capture or whatever, but not actually accomplish anything, but would play up to
Mhm.
never kill what you won't eat. And then that would get up there. So I lose a hero point, but it becomes a dice roll is what it becomes
Okay.
at this point.
So it basically removes one of the uses of my stunt or whatever.
Well, it adds a stunt.
Does
You
it
spend
add a D8 or a D10?
if you have a D8 left, you can. Excuse me. What I suggested, and I wasn't 100% sure if you agreed on that, is the first time you use your right of refusal, you get a D10. The second time, a D8.
Got it.
Oh,
It just like the other rule. So
oh, gotcha.
That works. Yep.
yeah.
All right, back.
Okay. So we are going to
Oh, I think we're still
face
waiting
the
on
warlord.
Brent.
Yeah,
Who?
I just want to make sure with if I've got this
Oh.
rules right
Yes.
for this. So we're going to be in the fortress now, which we kind of were in the Metalloid's fortress there.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're actually is this what did we decide his name was
We don't have a name yet for the Metalloid guy, I don't think.
No, we haven't
Okay.
yet.
Nope. Okay.
Steve.
He's just the warlord.
Was.
Oh, the other Steve. Ah.
No.
Bill.
There you go.
Yeah, Bill. Be Bill.
Hmm. The wizard should have been Linus.
I don't know who is. Yeah, who's in charge of IBM?
Oh, that's a good question. Who was? Let's see here.
Because Bill was not really Bill and Steve
Yeah.
weren't really competitors as
It'd be
such.
Babbage.
Oh, that'd be good.
Nice.
See here, 1980s. I'm gonna have a thing on. Let's see here. It was founded by Thomas Watson.
Yeah. List of IBM CEOs. Here
There we go.
From around from 85 to 93, it was John
John
F.
Akers? Yeah. John. Akers isn't bad, actually, for a
Akers.
villain name.
Yeah.
Then we have Turing. We have Zeus.
Mhm.
Let's see, we could say he's Colossus.
Oh, that would be good.
Matter of fact, he
Probably
is
good.
Colossus. Colossus has been brought. His program has been condensed and put into a metalloid body.
There we go. Perfect.
Okay.
I'm going to look for Forbin.
I'm on computerhope.com reading the history of computers, so.
Yeah. Cool.
All right.
Yeah. So we're gonna face the warlord in his or her fortress, but we're kind of already in the fortress.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
but
we
we might.
Well, this is like the fortress is not necessarily his fortress.
It's true.
Nope.
We could have to do some other things before we can actually get to the warlord.
Yeah.
So,
Right. So is Bebop is that one fought us and is gone now, or is he still kind of floating around out there?
Oh, he's still down at the bottom somewhere.
I'm
Okay.
sure he's made his way into the fortress somewhere.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm just going to do a lot of hand waving here,
Sure.
and Bebop's going to show up on those floating platforms. I'm going to take you to my master so you can release him from this evil spell.
Lead the way. Excellent.
Lead the
Forward.
way. Yeah,
Yes.
we'll let him think we're going to help him.
We have defeated the sorcerer, and now we will remove his evil doings.
Mm-hmm.
So he takes you to, because you through the swamp, now you're going to this large city, pretty desolate except for this one tall building that has a giant round cylinder, or not cylinder, but dish on top.
Maybe it's another building inside the city.
Yep, another building in the city.
Okay.
And it's got a giant observation deck on top of the building with a roller coaster around the outside of it, because we have to go to Las Vegas whenever you do these games.
Of course.
Beautiful.
Okay.
And we're going to, he takes us directly to the top of it, and we board where you used to get onto the roller coaster. That's where he parks the little sled, and you go right into the top observation.
Okay.
And of course, face 5 Mook Metaloids,
Okay.
who have been told not to let Bebop in because he has been corrupted.
Mm.
Oh no.
Because
So
he
we're
has
gonna
brought us.
have another round after this, with 3 acts or something.
Yes,
Or
this is the start of the third act.
It's the
Yes.
third act.
Each do one
Yeah.
last scene.
Yep.
So whoever does the last scene would probably be with
Yep.
Colossus.
Colossus. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Okay. Oops. Ignore the 4. I forgot to hit clear.
All right.
So let's see here. I've got a 2, which is automatically gone. A 1 that's automatically gone.
Right.
So you
Okay.
can describe how those go. So we have a 4, 4, and 6.
Hmm.
And they are do not enter. You must leave.
Mm-hmm.
They're prepping their lightning guns.
All right.
Hmm.
So the 2 that automatically left got shocked as they cranked up the generator. The charge button runs, and the
So yeah,
generator
lightning guns again. This time I'm like more parts, wearing a tinfoil hat, and I put my head down and barrel forward as the lightning ricochets off the tinfoil and starts shocking the hell out of them.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and just spend a hero point actually,
Okay.
Okay.
and knock. So we have 2 4s and a 6, right? So I'll go ahead and
Yes.
just knock one of those 4s as I just send the lightning right back at him. Yeah, kill one of the 4s.
All right.
Okay, so yes, so Baskin is going to act now, and since his lightning rod has done well enough so far, he says, "I always use what works best." And he takes the lightning rod, shoves into another one of the mooks, and shocks it, and it falls down, seizuring. So I'm going to spend hero point to take out one of those fours.
Okay, so now we have just a 6. Who wants to go for the 6? If no one wants to, I'll go.
Do it, Willow.
Yeah, I can do something.
Okay.
So, being the experienced hunter Willow is, she kind of, even though it's a robot, so it doesn't move like an animal, like it doesn't give away its intentions. She definitely is able to kind of see a pattern there and discern a weakness.
Nice.
Okay.
Or not.
Oh no! Another mook appears. Mm.
So roll another one, another d6 for us, Joe.
And she rolled 1, so.
All right. Yay, good.
Ah!
Oh my
So
goodness.
out of the back room comes another Metroid because he's heard the commotion. He is armed with, instead of the lightning gun, he just has an old-fashioned Tommy gun with a drum on it. And he's wearing a hat.
Fedora, yep.
Yep.
All right.
I think Courtyard is going to take a rope and tie it to one of the down Metroids, and then he lassos the one that just came in using his hunter roll, because that's how he traps things, and he pushes the Metroid out the window. Let's see if he actually gets the Metroid to go with it. So got 1 roll. Oh, I got a 5. So Metroid's hanging out the window, ropes tied the other one, but he didn't knock his feet loose. So someone would knock him down one, he might go out the window.
I will do that. I will project a wall of force that just sort of pushes him away.
Okay, so he slides right out the window and clashes to his death.
Nice.
Perfect.
Both of them. Yep.
And Steve, as well, says, "Oh, the wall of force. Good one. And does another wall of force to push the other one, the Tommy gun guy, and he's like firing the bullets.
Yep.
And the wall of force just ting 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 stops him.
Nice.
But let's see.
Do you angle the wall of force so the bullets come back at him?
Let's find out. Roll. Yes.
Yes.
So yeah. I think it's just enough to like stop the bullets in midair, and then it continues pushing him back, and finally crunches him into the wall.
Works.
Okay. And we have taken out all of them then.
All right.
And just to make it easy, on my screen, the next person would be Willow.
Oh, okay. So the guards that we'd just taken out had been guarding a chamber, obviously. And so we go into the chamber, and it's one of those catwalks kind of overseeing what looks like it's a renovated factory floor. Obviously, the robot building machine is in a different area. But this one has actually been renovated, and there's it looks like there's a throne, completely made out of scavenged parts, clockwork in the corner. And it's on like a little conveyor belt. And there's a, very stately looking robot sitting upon it. And they're actually like conveying him like into another room.
Oh.
And as he kind of disappears past the wall, one of the guards happens to look up and see us. And classless, that dude. Point us out, stop those intruders. So we are going to do Dice. We'll do clear my
Now,
first one.
presumably, these would be sort of the equivalent of the red guards for the emperor.
Right.
So that,
Right.
so
I mean,
these are-
there's like a few mooks in there too, but
okay, sure.
just cause.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll do. Gosh, these are such big decisions, you guys.
Yeah.
I'll do 2 of each because I don't want to burn us completely out. Oh my god.
Thank you.
Nice.
That one mook, I tell you.
Yeah. Anyone want to spend a hero point? I'm down to like 2.
Do it. So,
I can spend a hero point, I guess. Okay. So
Go
yes,
for
Yeah, I'm at
Rashkeen,
8, so-
after we've taken out like most of the 2 lieutenants in the mook, Rashkeen says to you, "We are not here to destroy all of you. If you flee now, we will spare your pitiful existence. Leave now." And I give him a glare and basically spend a hero point, and yes, the guy runs away. The last one's like beside their, they're basically just factory workers. So yeah, this is part of our job. So yeah,
Okay.
yes, yeah.
Nice.
All right, and I will say, Brent, why don't you take us forward? I don't think you've gone yet.
No. All right. So let's see here. So we all rush through into the other room to face this guy. So Colossus sits there on his giant metal throne. Boy, we could go interesting directions with this language. So he's sitting there, and yeah, I know, I'm trying to keep it 80s TV Saturday morning cartoon. And he looks much like a normal metalloid, although he's a little beefier, and he has a bunch of old, cracked screens around him, and they're displaying various basically video feeds. Some of them are very fuzzy. In fact, they're all very fuzzy, but you can at least see some stuff. And they're showing feeds of what appear to be different parts of the Metalloid Empire. In particular, there's one that he's focusing on, and it's a feed that shows a giant chamber underground, and there are a bunch of little alcoves in this chamber, and you see just shapes, sort of humanoid shapes behind these alcoves, with roots coming down all around them, and all all sort of growing over them. And so we rush in, and let's say he puts out a hand, and an energy barrier just sort of comes up, sort of an energy dome comes up around him. And we can see there are these like energy projectors set up around the room to project this energy wall around him. And he says, yeah, he'll say, "Stop, intruders! You cannot prevent me from completing my plan." So
Yes,
before we hit a conflict, what do you guys want to do?
Okay, and yes, and what are you exactly trying to do to the tree and other plans which you have accomplished here?
It's quite simple, really. Of course.
The villain explains everything. Yes.
Right. I must reawaken. Let's see here. What's his name? Yes. I must reawaken Inkanu's clan, which sleeps beneath the tree.
Hmm.
And why would you want to do that? You yourself have much power with the city. Why would you want to share it with him?
Because Inkanu commands it.
Mm.
And don't you have a mind of your own? Can you decide what is best for your people?
Inkanu commands it.
And if we let you do that, can we get apples?
Newhall, you fool! Can't you see? This machine can't think for himself. He only takes Inkanu's orders. And
Yes.
Inkanu,
Perhaps there is some way we can free him from the control, and then
Inkanu
we
wishes
allies
only
against
to.
him.
Inkanu wishes only to raise up all the people that think exactly like him, all his clanmates, so he can control everyone in the world. We
And
need diversity. We need our own tree.
We need a 3-finger reset.
Yes. We need not metalloids of just hunks of ugly metal like this one. We need beautiful creative design.
And Beep Boop comes in through a hole in the wall and goes, A, speak for yourself, mister. B, he's right. Our leader never spoke like this in the past. Something's controlling it.
Yes. Perhaps
Yes.
there is some way to break what is controlling him.
So we'll say that. So the room's full of weird technology that Colossus has set up for various experiments. So the various chunks of things around. There are also the sort of screen projectors in the corners of the room that are projecting this force field. Let me see here. And there are certainly like old-style computer terminals, and of course, this being an '80s cartoon, they're all like CRT displays with giant keyboards.
Yeah.
And floppy drives. But they are there if you guys want to play around with those. So I guess my question is, how do you guys want to engage in this conflict? What sort of enemies do you guys want to have?
Okay, well, I say that one thing you could do is, instead of actually having actual MOOC system challenges, basically have some sort of you roll a certain dice for each challenge which you have to overcome, and then instead of just you don't necessarily overcome it with a physical challenge, but you got to overcome it mentally in some way. So basically, you assign a die type to each of those aspects which has to be dealt with. So
let's say that. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
So Colossus's eyes glow this strange green color, and he says, "Shortly you will all join me as absolute servants of Inkanu." And so these energy, this sort of wavy energy comes out of all of you and is attacking your mind. The advantage being that if you can fight it off, the psychic backlash might hit Colossus and sort of shake him free in some way from this. And we're gonna go. Well, so
in the main villain, so he rolls a d10.
Yeah, well, that's my question. The thing is, the villain's acting through Colossus, so it's sort of a second stage thing. So I don't think it would be a D10. Oh heck, let's just go crazy. There are 6 of us, so 68.
Yep. We each have to have our own demons to fight here.
Psychic combat.
Ah hell. Sorry, 80s cartoon. Ah heck.
Demon dogs.
Demon dogs.
7, 8. Sorry.
7, 8, 5.
So we kill the. Let's see here. That goes away. That goes away. That goes away.
Okay, so we have a 8, 7, and 5 left.
Correct.
Okay.
I'll spend 2 hero points to take out the 5.
Sweet.
All right. How are you overcoming this this mind control?
Easy. He walks over to the wall and starts banging his head against it,
Of course.
screaming about how he deserves a break today.
I want Courtyard to read a self-help book.
Or Courtyard.
It's true.
Okay.
So I will attempt to use the whole like empathic connection
Mm-hmm.
with the environment because I'm not a machine and I will not be controlled like one.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I got a 7.
Nice. All right. That one's down. Let's see here. What? How am I doing? I'm going to go ahead and because I'm a robot myself. This is going to be difficult.
Yeah.
Tell you what, I'll go ahead and roll my. What have I actually got?
Your catchphrase.
Yeah, I'll use the catchphrase. I definitely sense danger. So I'm going to roll that and just see what I have.
How many times you used it, though?
Ah, damn it.
All right.
Okay,
Roll the 1.
so. Okay, good. So I'm re-gripped by this thing, but in a way that is not all that worrisome.
Okay.
So that's me.
All right.
All right, so we still have the 8 out there.
Okay,
Alright,
so,
Hallmark is
yes,
bending to its will.
yes, Baskin basically says, I think I have something for this. And he digs in his bag and he pulls out this device and he says, I think you pull it like this. So yeah, he's gonna use this trader and basically he's gonna set up a little EMP device he had in his sack. So
Okay.
I roll that as my trader skill.
Okay.
Yes, it's basically he collects lots of things. So
Mm-hmm.
obviously he has an old EMP device made.
Cool.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll that 6, and I'll spend 2 hero points on that to push it down.
Wow.
So
Sweet.
get rid of the 8. Yes, he pulls
All
that,
right.
and all the computers are shut down, and as well as the power
Wow.
which he used. So
Very good. All right.
Including Hallmark, right?
yeah, Hallmark gets shut down as well too. Unfortunately, all the electronics shut down.
Yeah, nice.
Yes.
It's okay. We'll come and boot you back up, buddy.
In classic Lost in Space fashion, the only way you know that is that my claws just sort of go down.
Oh yeah, naturally.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to pass it on to John.
Another good investment. Well, you.
All right, John.
You're up.
The next
Get
thing-
one of those again. Although they're hard to find.
I think maybe we need to go find Inkanu in this cavern or whatever. But it's up to you. Go ahead,
Yep,
John.
John, you're up.
Okay, yes. How many people are left haven't gone yet, though? How many more acts do we have left? We're all left.
This is the last act. We still have Aaron and Brendan to go.
Okay, so I'm not going to have you encounter Nkanu just yet.
Yeah.
Okay. So, so with the main hub shut down, all the Metalloids are currently on reboot right now, so they're currently kid. So they're gonna have to they're gonna be out for a while. So that gives us a chance to actually find where Inkanu's lair is, where he's hiding out. So we have to head back into the swamp because it's not actually in the city. Yes. So yes, we head back into the swamp. But as we do, suddenly there's a terrible roar from inside the water, and like you see this big, giant, massive, a worm like pop out of the water, and when it roars, it basically a swarm of these big giant leeches kind of like start swimming and surrounding the group and start pouncing at you. So basically, this giant swamp worm is going to attack you with a D8, and there's going to be 46 of Rooks.
Okay.
So
Ooh,
yes.
okay.
Unfortunately, the giant worm is not that threatening. So yes.
Okay.
So these are leeches, right? Giant leeches?
Yeah, giant leeches and one big giant worm.
Yeah, doctors use these all the time. Giant leeches are actually incredibly valuable medicinal things today. So yeah, I'm just snatching up the leeches and shoving them in my little jars, tapping them. So I'll go ahead. I'll try rolling. Greed is good.
Yeah, these are swarms.
Okay. Greed is good. Yeah.
Cool.
Greed is good. Greed is the best.
Hey, look at that.
So I get to roll another one, right?
Yes, you do.
I love greed.
So yes, you can take out the if you spend one hero point, take out both.
Yeah, I'll spend one hero point and take out both. I have jar after jar of incredibly valuable bleach.
Yeah.
Wow.
Alright?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the giant worm basically you just kill it.
One of them got on me. And you just come over and I'll take that one.
Oh, that's a good
So,
one.
yes, I'll pass it off to I guess we'll have Steve go.
Oh, okay.
Steve the Wizard
So-
will be his turn, and then we'll finish off with Brendan and we'll do the final act.
Nice.
Cool.
Okay, so yes, probably we're gonna this was the travel part. Now we're gonna probably find where's Laris.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So we finally okay. We find the entrance to the cavern, right?
Yeah.
And it leads and in fact probably Willow can let us know that this cavern leads us to right under the apple tree town. And we know that Nkanu is his what do you call it? His clan is somehow preserved in this cavern under here. But standing in our way, we enter this dark cavern. Of course, it's cartoon style, so you can still see what's going on. But these roachmen
Oh, of course.
start we hear the scuttling, and they start crawling over the walls, and I think we're just gonna go with a bunch of mooks, a bunch of these roaches
Yeah, that makes sense.
coming out, and he's kind of like he's desperate. He's trying to hold us off to the last moment. So let's do 5d6.
Nice.
So
Okay.
right off the bat, we
Yeah.
we start crunching them and throwing things at them, but a couple of them are tougher.
All right. So my pendant flashes quickly enough for me to be able to overcome the surprise and get to one of them before that, hopefully. Yes. Sweet. So
Nice.
as one of them leaps at me, I zap it with one of my claw lasers.
Nice.
Roast cockroach.
Ew.
Wild mutant on the other 6 if no one wants it.
Go for it.
Sweet.
All right. So Courtyard runs up and grabs the cockroach creature by his third arm, lifting it up, and then with his 2 regular arms grabs his other arms and pulls them out. We'll see if he actually gets them out. See, I haven't used wild mutant, so I get a 10 for that one.
These are great with drawn butter. Mm-hmm. Look at that.
And I got a 6.
Nice.
So throws the arms against the wall, drops the carcass.
Okay, is there a way you can whisper to some people here?
Not
chat.
You
really.
can use chat
No.
if you want.
Yeah.
You'd have to go to the G Plus and actually send them a message separately.
Yeah.
That's how we do
All
it.
right. It's over to Brendan.
All right,
Okay.
so last cockroach dies, and at the far end of the cavern, there's a tunnel leading down, and you see a faint, like red light pulsing up out of the tunnel, and you follow it down and move down the tunnel, where you see this. It's like an actual stone walkway that goes out onto this big circle, and underneath it there's this thing that's pulsing with red light, and you can see the roots, like some of them withered, of the apple tree actually like descending down from the ceiling and around the circular platform and around where this red light's coming from, so it's hard to see from back here. And in the middle of that red platform is standing the form of Nkanu, cloaked, and you can just hear him as you come closer. You miserable creatures. You disgust me. You horrible things. I would have been free. My people would have been free. And you interfered. You ruined eons of planning. We cannot be held back by things such as you. We are eternal. We are from before the burning, and you will not stop us.
I sense danger.
Okay. Okay. So is the villain gonna reveal his true form?
He rips off his cloak,
Yeah.
and he's just this enormous mass of worms and tendrils, all intermixing and like twining together.
Yeah.
And as you see it for just a second, it's maintaining this human form. The worms start to engorge and grow larger and larger, and some of them start falling off of him. And you look down below, and this red light is coming from this enormous glass container. And inside the glass container, you just see an infinite amount of these worms, just as far down as you can possibly see, with the roots of the tree like holding the glass together. But the roots are withering even as you talk. His worms are burrowing into the roots and starting to chew them apart. Yeah, so this is a villain.
Yes.
So what is that? That's going to be
D10s.
How many D10s should I roll for him specifically?
D10s for every danger he is presenting to the party.
Oh, okay. So there's the one danger, which is him as a giant worm person coming forward to stomp you. There's one danger which I think actually should be represented as him about to free his own people.
Yep.
And I sort of figure that just to stack it all up, enough worms have dripped off of him, and they're their own like isolated entities. So I'm going to throw in spooks.
Okay.
So I'm going to give him 2d10, and I'm going to say that there are 5 worms. Epic confrontation.
Nice. Yes.
Oh shit!
Oh! Great.
Good
All
roll,
right.
Brendan. Good roll.
Thanks, I really tried. Oh god.
All right. This may be a two-parter.
Oh good.
Alrighty. So let's see here.
So I'll spend all my hero points. It's over. No, I don't quite have that many left.
Yeah.
I only have 6.
Oh,
So I can take out the 4 and 5. And,
Yeah, I have a whole
and
bunch
the
of
6.
things. So
Yeah, and the 6. I can take out 3.
Okay.
I could probably go for the 10 if I roll well
I'll
enough.
do. Tell you what. I'll use my catchphrase. So I say, look, Nkanu, is it? Your
Yes.
people may be ancient, but it's time for some new ideas. And it's a new world. We need more beautiful creatures, more cooperation instead of forcing people to be just like you. Think different.
Of course. Da.
What did he roll?
4.
So it
Oh
takes
my
up, you
gosh.
take up the 4 there, though.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm obviously going for the big guy.
Right.
Oh,
Do you want to
okay.
take it my 4?
And yeah, I'll take out his 4. And this is I walk down to the the walkway around where the glass is held, and I just magical energy and freeze the worms with the magical snow energy there,
Okay.
and freeze them in place.
Okay.
So they're not destroyed, but
It preserves them for
taking
good
over the
eating.
world. Yeah. And then Nkanu comes down on top of me. Ah!
Were you taking out some of the mooks, Joe?
Someone else started, so I let them go, so I can go ahead and narrate that.
Okay.
All right, so I'll spend 1 point on the 4. I've got 6 points, so I'll take out the 5 with 2 more points and 3 points on the 6.
Nice.
So
wow.
that'll be all my hero points are gone with that.
Mhm.
And what's going to happen is Courtyard comes running in with his lance in one hand, he's recovered, and in his third arm he's got the stop sign, and he's swinging wildly. Half the time they're hitting each other and sparking, and he's gone mad with his wild mutants, and just things are shredding, things are falling apart, and the mooks start going down, and it's just a wild time, and he just keeps on going. He doesn't even know he's knocked them down at this point. He's just gone wild.
Worms everywhere.
Yes, he does not like worms. He doesn't eat worms, but he's going to kill them anyways.
I'm going to go ahead and use my remaining 3 hero points on the 10. So I'm just going to start raining down sort of magical attacks on this. Just sort of wearing it down, not really doing much to it, but just concentrating that down. So it's now a 7.
Okay, and I will use my hunter to try to figure out where a worm person's weaknesses would be.
Okay. Yep.
Their knees. Hit them in the
Oh,
knees.
so I will in the knees, of course. How did I not
okay.
guess that? So
Close.
I will then spend a hero point to make that happen.
Excellent. So who wants to take out the final mook?
Okay, Bashki will still take out the final mook. Yes. He says, yes, I think we can make a deal here. And this is how I will deal with it. He reaches into his pouch and he takes out something which looks like a bottle, and he takes something which looks like a lighter and lights it, and then throws it. Says, fire is usually it deals with most problems. Throws a Molotov cocktail at the last worm. So yes, I'm gonna roll my d8 for that.
Mm-hmm.
It's 6 times my cash raise. So roll that. Roller. 8. Yes.
Nice.
Critical hit. So yes, I hit it, and the worm the Molotov explodes and sets the worms on fire.
Perfect.
Then it says, "Oh damn, I'm gonna damage the tree." Then I start putting out the fire. Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Very nice.
Finally.
Cool. So Brendan, go ahead and narrate how that finishes out.
Yeah.
Sure. So, of course, Nkanu, as he's burning and no, of course, echoes. And I actually think so. The roots, the chamber starts to collapse actually, because it always happens around the roots. So while the tree is not damaged, the ceiling starts to fall on you. It's gonna bury everything again. So it's gonna have to all be excavated again for any of this to happen. So as you guys just charge back up through the hole and out through the tunnel back into the swamp, there's that shuddering collapse as all of the underground chamber just falls inward, and Nkano's people are buried for another eon or two.
Excellent.
And meanwhile, you've left an entire robot empire without its leader.
Yeah.
We cut back to Colossus, who goes, "I am free."
Yes.
Shit.
Yes.
We're not allowed to say that.
I don't know. Maybe he's not a bad guy. Who knows?
Seems nice.
With a name like Colossus.
Right, exactly.
Probably swell.
So I'm sure the free market competition will determine who's superior, me or Colossus.
Oh gosh, Steve. Very nice.
How many bottle caps are you going to earn?
Yeah, exactly. Cool. I think that's the game.
All right.
Yeah.
That was great.
All right.
It was good.
Thanks, Brent
Thank you,
Newhall,
Brent.
You
playing
bet.
the burned future, or
Mhm.
possibly the burning future.
Thank
So once
you
again,
all
this
for
was
playing.
part of Indie Plus Game Night for July 2014, and you can check out more games, more videos. If you go to indieplus.org, or just look for us on Google Plus. And yeah, that's it. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Brent. Thanks everybody for
Thanks.
playing. It was awesome.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
stick around and we can discuss the game.